What is up, PCP Army? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and welcome to Rockin Robbie Live. In fact, the final episode of Rockin Robbie Live of 2020. And thank you so much for a blessed year as far as live streams go. Whether it was Rockin Robbie Live, whether it was the PCP Live movie nights we started doing on Friday nights, and you were always down and there. And throwing out much love and respect. And we appreciate that. So welcome into the final Rockin Robbie Live of the year, but not the final live show of the year. Have no fear. And a mighty station to everybody here. Once you get in here, shout out, say what's up. We already got a lot of people that have done so. So before we start getting into the chat, and I see a lot of you out there, and Perry, thank you so much for that super chat, my man. Station, that means we're going to get a Joker video very, very soon. We got lots of excitement coming up, but I do want to say, first and foremost, check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. And that podcast will be returning in 2021. You can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. You can also follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, you might as well make it official and join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, and it's always fun. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so with a super chat like Perry just did, my brother, or you can do so just by watching, liking, sharing. And if you want to go a little bit further and join the generals and the corporals. Corporals? Is corporal a thing? But you can join the elite crew over at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine people right there. So thank you so much, everybody, your support. But it's support enough just watching the show, participating in the show, chatting out. The show is driven by your questions, your comments, your concerns, all of that. So get them in right now. Let's fuel this show. We got lots of plans for tonight. As usual, we'll be taking a look at what's coming up in comic shops this week. We'll be taking a look at the best comics from last week. We'll be doing 2 top 5s tonight, both Christmas related and a lot of show and tell. And of course, y'all, I did it. I read the Savage Avengers, and we're going to be talking about that. All 16 issues, plus the annual, plus the free comic book day segment, because that was collected in the trade. But we really do appreciate everybody being here. So this last week, speaking of Perry with Super Chat, Perry joined us for the Gremlins movie review, our final movie review live of the year. It's our final movie review of the year. Gremlins, my favorite Christmas movie. So I hope everybody joined that. If not, check out the replay, I guess is what it's called. But have no fear. The movie reviews are returning, and they return Friday night, January 8th, with Buckaroo Banzai. That's right. We're going to be talking about the adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension for our first live movie night in 2021. The very next night sees the debut of Dylan's horror show, in which I will be co-hosting. This is Saturday, starting January 9th, 2021. Dylan's horror show is going to be great. Me and Dylan, sometimes with a guest, but mostly just the two of us, reflecting on our favorite horror-type stuff. We have some great episodes lined up. I'm really, really excited to see what's going to happen. And, like I said, this is the last Rockin Robbie Live of the year, but it's not by far the last live stream, because Wednesday night we got Festivus, so join us Wednesday, December 23rd at 8 p.m. Central Time for our 3rd annual Festivus stream, in which we will be raising the Festivus poll, airing our grievances, and displaying our feats of strength. So there you go. And Perry, once again, thank you so much. Let me tell you about this old man I know. Hey, his name is Perry. All right, that's enough of that jazz. Let's get into the show. How's everybody doing? There's lots of people in here. Herminio, Fable, Travis, Jason, James, Tacky, Billy, Stefan, Sergeant Raider. I didn't watch any of the games today. I listened to the Cowboys. Tacky says Mike McCarthy can close out a season. Yeah, right. Yeah, we lost picks in the draft. Yeah, the Jets won today though, and so they don't have the first pick anymore. So that I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's like you always want them to play. You always want them to play for real. What's up, Mars? What's up? Let's see who else is in here. Lots of people. Eric, if you just in here, throw it out. Throw it out. Say what's up. How y'all doing? What are we doing here? We're doing Rockin Robbie Live. All right. We got a great show tonight. So if you have any questions, throw them out. We have lots of cool news, some cool like stuff that was covered in the weekly pop culture wrap up. Some interesting tidbits, of course, about the DC stuff coming out in March. We can chat about that if you want to. We can chat about the Beta Ray Bill, whatever. You know, we'll get to that. But first, we will do the first 6. So we've been going through my Blu-ray collection, and we've hit the H's. So now it's the next 6. So the first 6 for tonight, the next 6 Blu-ray collections. We got the Halloween set. That's the complete box set. It is the Scream Factory set, but it's not the one with all the bells and whistles. It's not the super awesome one like we got the Friday the 13th one. But it does have all the films, including the Rob Zombie ones. But I do enjoy having all of them in one nice collection. So there is my Halloween set. Next up, we got the new Halloween 2018 version. It's an alright film. You know, we covered this one in Horror Fest this year. This was the first time I watched it. Next up, there's my Harry Potter set. Yeah, I love these movies. I love the books. I'm a Potterhead. I really like this shit. So, of course, I got the Harry Potter. Next up, y'all, there's my Hellboy Blu-ray. And then, his name was also Hellboy Golden Army. There's my Hellboy 2 Golden Army. I got that cool lenticular morphing face, Perlman to Mignola. Oh, my goodness. I love it. I actually like that film a lot. And to round out the final, or the first 6, there's Hellraiser. It's my copy of Hellraiser. It's the Anchor Bay release. It's not the Arrow one. I hear lots of good things about it, but it has a lot of cool stuff on it. This was like the first Big Daddy Blu-ray special feature one. You know, Anchor Bay used to be the shit before Scream Factory kind of snuck up on in there. So that was the first 6, everybody. Your thoughts on those movies, your thoughts on what you want to talk about. Let's get this show going. Nightwing by Tom Taylor. I'm very excited for that news because, first of all, it's odd. I think it's kind of odd. First of all, Tom Taylor has become a force in the comic book industry as a writer, right? He is making waves. Most of the stuff that he writes, people really respond to very well. Whether it was All New Wolverine, whether it was Injustice, whether it's Deceased, or whether it was Suicide Squad, which I think is one of DC's best books of the year. And I'm compiling my list, and I am doing a top 20 this year. And it will be a top 20 instead of a 10. It will debut. The idea is that it debuts not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Basically the Monday after Christmas. So, Suicide Squad was amazing. And so the same artist and Tom Taylor are joining together to do Nightwing. Now, I thought that they would get a higher tier title after Suicide Squad. I think Nightwing is a B-list title, and I'm not talking shit about Nightwing or Dick Grayson or anything like that. I'm just saying what it is sales-wise. It's a B-list title. Maybe Suicide Squad is more like C+, maybe, you know? And maybe that... I'm surprised at the jump, because Deceased is an A-list title at DC right now. And I'm surprised that he's not getting the jump to like a big time book, like a Detective Comics or something like that. Or a Shazam. I think he would be marvelous at a Shazam book, especially following up what Jeff Johns has built up. So you get all of that. So I was surprised that it's Nightwing. However, the style and flair, the panache of that Suicide Squad book, that they got such a distinctive style to it, and it's got this flair. If that would work for Nightwing. That would work supremely well for Nightwing, I think. So I am pretty much for the first time in my life incredibly excited about a Nightwing creative team. Not to say I've never liked Nightwing. I loved Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniel's run back in the day, but I had no idea that I was going to love that run. I got into it around like issue 18, 20, something like that, like because of word of mouth back then, Wizard Magazine, things like that. TSG's in the house and TK's Batcave. What's up, my man? How you doing? TK says, I'm a fan of Suicide Squad, Deceased, and Injustice. Injustice I quit reading because But they killed Nightwing when he just tripped on a rock and busted his head. I thought that was kind of dumb, so I stopped reading it. But I hear it just continued to be awesome the entire way through. They keep giving Tom Taylor these books of no consequence. Injustice, Deceased, as badass as they are, they're of no consequence because they're not set in a firm continuity, right? I mean, they are, but they're in their own continuity. They're not set in the mainline universe, right? But I just freaking love it. I think Tom Taylor's an amazing writer. What's he going to graduate? They've given him Spider-Man books. Those kind of, had moments, but like he really shines, I think, stronger at DC, it seems, than Marvel. Though, that being said, his all-new Wolverine was pretty good, but I did eventually fall out of it. I never completed the whole run. But that's got a really strong cult following. So I'm excited for Tom Taylor's Nightwing. I think that's going to be dope. Yeah, the Suicide Squad artwork was always clean. Bruno Redondo or something like that. Oh my goodness, it was always so freaking good. It was clean. It had the sophisticated Ocean's 11 type style to it almost, if you get what I'm saying. It was really, really nice. He has done some great one-off Batman stories. I think that one day Tom Taylor will wind up on a Batman book. Like a main flagship Batman book. After Tynion, we'll see. You never know how the industry's going to change. You're right, Jeff. The last issue of Gideon Falls does come out this Wednesday. I haven't talked to Bueller yet. I know he's either just back in Portland or he's going back to Portland now. Or to wherever, Clackamas, wherever the hell it is. It's Oregon. It's again. Again. But, that's an inside joke that nobody will get but me and like two other people. But I'm going to use that in something. So what was I saying? Oh, I don't know if we're doing Thunderdome this week. But if so, y'all help me pick out what my Thunderdome pick should be. Because there's some really good picks. I'm thinking right now the picture of everything else or the last issue of Gideon Falls. Because it's an 80-page issue. And it has to wrap everything up. And if I trust anybody to wrap something up that's been one of the best comics over the last 3+ years, in 80 pages, it's Lemire and Sorrentino and Stewart, for sure, and Wands. TSG's like, yo, I'm here with the hot takes. I wasn't impressed with Deceased Fight Me. I'm not going to fight you over that. It's not going to be a book for everybody. I'm impressed with Deceased because it's able to do what Marvel Zombies did, but with an element of actual investment emotionally from the reader, at least from this reader. So I like that element to it, and I also like how he's also spinning that out into a legacy-type book where we're seeing Damian as Batman, we're seeing Jonathan as Superman. That's an interesting, cool way to do that without going full-blown 5G. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you don't like it, that's fine. I ain't going to fight you over it. I don't know about Billy, though, with all them deadlifts. But I don't think anybody here is going to fight anybody over the shit. But I love Deceased. I think it's great. Stefan's like, Tom Taylor does way better creatively at DC than Marvel. I would say that. Eric says, Taylor on Nightwing is going to make me buy DC books again. Well, look at that. And surprisingly, it's one of the few creative teams announced ongoing post-Future State, post-Dark Knight's Death Metal. It's one of the few books post all of that that is not the same creative team from Future State. Bueller's back. Okay. I wonder if he needs a pick. What should it be? What should our Thunderdome pick be this week, PCP Army? All we have to do is just come in first or second and we'll win the entire thing. So, should it be Picture of Everything Else, the new Dan Waters book from Vault Comics, which, trust me, you want to read this book. I have not, actually, gotten an early copy of this, and I don't understand why it hasn't happened. It's really, I think they're holding this one close because it's, I don't know why. But the other one is the final issue of Gideon Falls. That's worth a Thunderdome pick. It's the last chance ever to pick Gideon Falls for Thunderdome. I did not read The Savage Circus, Robbie, by Heavy Metal. Chad says, what do you think is the situation with the new book Solid Blood? Something to do with crossover. Possibly something to do with crossover. Now, this was something that was brought up to me for the first time in my acknowledgement. Maybe somebody commented it and I don't remember it, but I think last night during Dylan's stream when we were talking about Krampus, I think that was the first time I came into the idea that is it something to do with crossover, and I think that's a brilliant idea. Because the whole book is actually set up first, and secondly or thirdly or whatever. I don't know how many fucking points I've made at this point, but I think this is just a one-off. Like, there's no plans, I think, to revisit this, but there's got to be a setup for something, and it would be a perfect setup for crossover to like have this universe, these superheroes, and you got them in this one book. You see a glimpse of this reality because the book itself is set up. The premise of the book is not just that it's a random issue from Kirkman and Otley and a tribute to 90s Image, but that it's, and maybe it's not Spawn, actually, that's in that jail. Maybe it's the dude from Solid Blood, because it looked like Spawn was being captured in crossover. Maybe it's actually him. Anyway, the whole book, if you look at it, like, when all the credits at the very beginning and all of the information about like Image and where their offices are and who's on the staff there, it's all wrong. It's an alternate reality Image. The idea of Solid Blood is that it's a random issue from an alternate reality slipped into our universe. How cool is that? And that would be a great way to set up some kind of a tie-in with crossover. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I think they'd be so badass. All right. We asked what should be the Thunderdome pick if we're doing Thunderdome this week, and I'll confirm that with Bueller eventually. He's probably sleeping for like 18 hours straight, though he will be up tomorrow morning. I think he's doing a live stream for his Coffee and Comics video, which is the best Monday morning you can spend here on YouTube. Not just YouTube, anywhere. Like, screw any morning show on any network. Like, seriously, well, I'll be honest with you, I'm a big fan of Undisputed. Honestly, I really am. And I like a little bit of First Take. But on Mondays, it's all about Bueller. But I'll just watch I don't watch that shit in the morning. I'll watch it later on. Actually, I just watch the clips that I want to see. Anyway, it's a weird stretch, Robbie. Why are we doing this? The question was, should we pick the picture of everything else for Thunderdome, or should we pick Gideon Falls? Tacky says last. Gideon Falls got to be. Eric says picture of everything else. Hype for that book. TSG is deadlifting burgers from the fridge. Hell yeah. What's up, I am Will? Station. Perry says, I already pre-ordered it. Hope it's good. Isn't it the same writer's Coffin Bound? Wasn't the biggest fan of that. Perry, I encourage you to reread Coffin Bound. Reread it. Just reread it. But it's not going to be a book for everybody. But Coffin Bound is a book that I absolutely adore. Dan Waters is a great writer. He did the Lucifer book recently over at Vertigo, DC Black Label. He did Deep Roots at Vault. He did Limbo, right? Yeah, Limbo's him. I mean, Homesick Pilots was him. He's really, really solid. Yeah, we got a super chat from #1 Drama Queen. Hey, Santa Robbie, just finished Hickman's run on Fantastic Four FF. Was wondering what your thoughts are on it. You're the best dude. Well, thank you so much, #1 Drama Queen. My thoughts on Hickman's Fantastic Four run are that it's one of the best Fantastic Four runs of all time. I think I listed it at number 2, if not 3, on my top 5 Fantastic Four video that I released, like, I guess a couple years ago. But I really, really love Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run. I think it's brilliant. It's one of the best. You got to give credit to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee for what they did, what they built up. Got to give mad props out to John Byrne for what he did. But I think the Hickman run is probably technically the best run of Fantastic Four. I love it. And thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all know what's coming. Throw it out there with me. Let's all do this together. Well, let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He's walking around Christmas time, don't you know? And he's got something to say, boy. He looks at you and he thinks that you are cool, but he thinks that you are kind of rude at times. And who is the man that he's talking to but the one who is called Ken and Ryu? Hit the wrong button. I thought it was cable and it doesn't matter. I'm not able to hit the right button, let me tell you. But you know at the end we got all night. But along comes the one. His name is Wesley Snipes. What? See, Strickland, CJ Strick, that's how you choke and just run with it and have fun with it. You choke when you stop. Bobby De La Ghetto is here. Station, Bobby. Bro, I'm going to be talking about you a little bit at Show and Tell, just so you know. Thank you so much for the A-OK. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to be showing it off tonight. I showed it off last night. I got it yesterday. Thank you so much, my man. I really do appreciate that. Robbie has bars. Robbie does have bars, but not when I do the super chat stuff. It's just, you know, it's like Jay Strick with a straight dick. That's that Perry classic. I just want you guys to know that Jay Strick and Jelani are in for a lot of shit in 2021 between the choking straight dick Jay Strick and the duty head. Duty head Jelani. The execution, not so much. That's funny. I'll tell you this. When I watch these on the replay, I'm always like a few seconds ahead of the actual beat. So there's something going on. Like when I'm hearing it live, it's the same. But I'm not making excuses. I ain't no, you know. But it is. Perry was spitting. That was so funny. He came out strong too. He's like, "Yo, I'm Jay Strick. I give the straight dick." He's just like, it was great. It was like he turned. I thought it was great. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. It is hard to be put on the spot and just try to come up with something on the dime. And I'm not a good freestyler. But this is honing my skills. You got to lose yourself. Like Mom's spaghetti. Stefan's like, not talking about you, Robbie. I love your bars. Well, thank you so much. I love my bars like I love the stars because we are stardust. Yes, we are. Yeah, like that was off the dome. That's not bad. It's simple. It's trite. What did, I actually wrote this in a rhyme one time. I said, trite is how I like it because I don't have to fight to bite it. Here's the question, Billy. Is not that is the Grayskull real, but is the concept of Grayskull real? Is the concept of real? Next Teen Dog Shades night, which will be the first Teen Dog Shades night of 2021, maybe we'll answer the question or ponder, is real? Zombie, I did not read Reckless yet. I have not had the chance to read it. You know why? Because I've had to watch all these movies, and that's cool, and I appreciate that. I did a podcast. I got to appear on Geeks Unleashed again. So they just released their Christmas party episode, their final episode of the year, and they invited me and a few other panelists on to discuss and nominate our favorite Christmas movies, and we all picked what we thought were the best ones. And, of course, I went with Gremlins, so I got to talk about Gremlins twice last night. But it is on, or Friday night, I should say. And it's on YouTube right now, and it's on Spotify. So just look up Geeks Unleashed on Spotify or on YouTube, Christmas special. It's there. I had a lot of fun. Really, really cool cats. I was on their show. They do a book club, and I was on their December episode of that. Geeks Unleashed, by the way. You can find it. They're on Spotify. And we did the book club of Scott Pilgrim Book 1. And Mark and Jasmine are two super cool cats and great fans of comic books and pop culture. And I enjoyed hanging out with them and twice within the last month. And I really, really hope I get to hang out with them again. Where's Stretch Perry? Gideon Falls to end this coming week. Greatest title of the last few years. Hell yeah, S squared. What's up, Chamorro? How are you doing? Cheers. What am I drinking? I am drinking Straight to Ale's Monkey Knot IPA, hometown brewery here in Huntsville, Alabama, in a Jason Momoa Justice League Aquaman pint glass. Sam says, I'm putting together an A-OK for you and Brooks. Do I just send it to the deep care of you? Yes, Sam, you can do that 100%. That would be very appropriate. The Kruger with the Ruger? How about the Rutger, Hauer, Power, Hour, and we're going after Hour, Kitten, Sour. See, I fucked it up. I had the beginning of it, and then I lost it because I was like, Sour? How do I tie it? And as I was thinking, how do I tie it together? It was time to tie it together. And I fucked up. But sometimes you choke. But you don't choke when you set up something bold. Jay Strick's going to be so fucking mad at me. Don't worry, I gave him Christmas Eve off. He's good. All right, it's time to talk about comics. We've been talking about comics. Let's talk about some more comics. What was your favorite comic book of last week? Before we talk about what's coming up this week, which we already have done a little bit, what was your favorite comic book last week? What was your pick of the week? My pick of the week was Once in Future number 14. I don't know if this has actually been the pick of the week since the first issue. Maybe it was here and there, but why issue 14? Because honestly, out of everything I read last week, this was the best, the most well-executed comic book out there. Now, Once in Future has been like Red Mother, and it's just been one of the absolute most consistently amazing books. Super solid execution, precision, every single issue. Once in Future number 14, it is amped up to the next level. This is the best that this issue has ever, just shined. Everything comes together. Everything... There is not a single thing wrong with this issue. Everything that Once in Future has been doing well its entire run was put on perfect display in issue number 14. You got amazing artwork by Dan Mora. Precise, beautiful line work with a lot of intensity, a lot of dynamic action, a lot of blood and guts, an adventurous sense. Characters all look distinct and unique and real, and expression, the expressions, the acting works so much. The coloring by Tamara Bonvillain is absolutely top notch. She is by far the best colorist of the year, and it is for the work in this book in particular, though a lot of other stuff that she does is amazing. Then you have Gillen doing a great story that could have been a 6-issue series, and it's over and it's fine and it's cool. But the way he's able to take folklore from the Anglo-Saxon tradition, from the European tradition, the way he's able to throw all this stuff, this Scottish, British type stuff, the way he throws it all together to make it relevant, to make it feel new, to make it feel fresh, to make it feel connected, to make it feel weighty with gravity, and great characters like Grandma. And there's some of the best granny moments in here. My pick of the week was Once in Future, number 14. So I want to know right now, what did your pick of the week? What was your pick of the week, and what did you think of this one? What was your pick of the week? Black Christmas. If my thoughts create manifestations, where do my thoughts come from? Billy, that's a Teen Dog Shades night. Billy's always wanting it to wind up into Teen Dog Shades night, but it doesn't always go that way, but we'll see. You better review Savage Avengers on your next weekly review. Well, the next time it comes out, I will, but we will be talking about Savage Avengers tonight in segment 2, block 2. Second block AB. Anyone see that Cy Spurrier's writing an X book? Any idea what it is? Not X-Men, but he should be taking his Hellblazer ideas off to Doctor Strange. He's also got a Vault book coming up, which is interesting. No confirmation on what exactly his X book is going to be. There was some early speculation that maybe it was the Moira book that we've been long promised, but a lot of people now are leaning out of that and thinking that he will, in fact, be the writer of the X-Core book that we were promised a while ago, focusing on Monet, I believe. Is it Monet or is it Mirage? And Angel, but that stuff. And that was something that was teased. Those two characters were teased in Is it Mirage? It's Mirage. It's not Monet. It's Mirage, right? Anyway, I don't remember at this point. But X Corp is teased on the Reign of X teaser. So a lot of people are thinking it's the X Corp book. But he would be great on Doctor Strange. Sam Fett says pick of the week was Decorum. That was my number 2. That was almost pick of the week, but I just didn't want to be too obvious. But no, like Once and Future was super sharp, but Decorum was amazing. The way that everything's come together, I think with 6 issues I got enough. Fable says, how about them Savage Avengers? Yeah, we're going to talk about that in probably about an hour from now. Around 8:30 my time, maybe. That's where it's scheduled, it seems. We got 2 picks in a row for Stillwater, number 4 from Kirk and from Jeff. Stillwater, number 4 was great. It definitely made my top 10. Mudfoot69 really liked Black Cat. I got the Scotty Young variant. I haven't read most of them, though. Zombie says, haven't gotten through last week's pile, but I already know Headlopper is going to be it. Love that series. Brooks went off on Headlopper on the Wednesday night stream, Talking Comics on New Comic Book Day. Which, yes, I am fairly certain. I got a couple weeks to really think about it because there's going to be no more top 10s or Talking Comics for the rest of the year. But my plan right now is to continue on with Talking Comics on New Comic Book Day on Wednesday nights. Starting off delivering my top 10 and then bringing in a guest to chat about that week's new comics and other just new comics in general. If you think that's a good idea, throw out a station or 2 or 3. If it's a bad idea, just let me know. Taki says, of course, We Live 3, but King of Black Immortal Hulk close second. That was a really solid book. Oh, no, Once and Future's colors don't turn me off. I think they're the best colors in the book. I mean, in the industry right now. I love it. Bobby says, Solid Blood. Fun. So much fun with that book. Zen Soundwave says, Decorum every time. The story is finally starting to make sense. Will says, Stillwater for me. Fable says, I am super behind, but catching up on Immortal Hulk, which in my opinion is on another level. Reggie says, did anyone read Reckless? Not me. I still haven't gotten to it, but I plan on hopefully getting to it this week if I have some extra time. Should have time on Christmas to do some shit. Maybe I'll read Reckless. Tacky says, Canterbury Tales. Why not? That's a weird stretch. If you think that's a weird stretch, okay. Huh. That's a weird stretch. I like it. I like matching weird stretches with weird stretches. Herminio says, Immortal Hulk is so good. Yes, it is. How many issues will Seven Secrets have? I don't know. I think it was only, is it just 6? It seems like it's ramped up pretty quick, but I don't know if it should be a continuing. I hope. Chad says, Sam and His Talking Gun. I loved that book. I thought it was really solid. There are a lot of good books, though. It almost made the top 10. James says, bought Reckless, but haven't read it yet. If it's even close to pulp, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's usually what we get out of Brubaker and Phillips. Stefan says, We Live. Stillwater 4 was my pick of the week. So good to get that additional backstory. The amazing thing about Stillwater is that it feels like since issue 1, it's all been damn just exposition and backstory, but it still is a riveting experience reading it. Hey, it's Bueller. What's up, my man? Station for Bueller. Robbie, hello. I want to be your guest. You can be my guest anytime. You can't be my guest right now, though, unfortunately, because I'm on OBS and not on StreamYard. And I've not yet quite figured out how to have guests on OBS. I haven't even researched it. But I'd love to have you back on the channel soon. We should do that very soon. You should join us for a segment in the Festivus stream and air your grievances for the year. Bueller, by the way, are we doing Thunderdome this week? Do you need a pick? Stillwater's the best comic out there, says Ken. Look how Bueller takes the time to, like, station and say hello to everybody. That's, like, the best. Bueller, you're just the best. And major station out to Jim Mint as well for hitting 100K. Unfortunately, was not able to check out his live stream today until after it was over, but fantastic. But Bueller's just a paragon of the industry. I'm glad you had such a great week. Let's hit it up next week, Robbie. Okay, let's do it. What day? What day are you thinking? What day you want to do it, Bueller? I don't have plans except for Wednesday night with Festivus. Bueller is the salt of the earth, the light on the hill. What's funny is Bueller was showing off all those crazy comics he got to see, that video today, all that wild ass collection. Like, holy cow, right? I haven't seen it personally yet because it was on my day off, but an Amazing Fantasy 15 came into the shop this week. So I hope it's still there. If so, I'm going to take a picture of it with me. I've seen plenty. I've only held one. Jason Champagne says, is anyone reading Big Girls from Jason Howard? It's really good so far. I am reading it. I really like it. I think it's really good. And this is the first Howard book that I've read that he's written. I don't know if it's his first attempt, but it feels so much fun. Had a lot of fun with it. Hey, it's Mark from Geeks Unleashed. He says, cheers for calling us cool cats, man. Much appreciated. Just catching up. Well, thank you, Mark. That was a great show on Friday night, so I hope everybody checks it out. The link is up in the PCP Army right now. I'll eventually post it on YouTube as well, but just type in Geeks Unleashed. You'll find it. I really appreciate you, Mark, you and Jasmine having me on the show. I have a lot of fun with you cats. You cool cats. So we're about to be taking a look at what's coming up in comic shops this week, since we just focused on what our favorite comics were of last week. But before we start getting into that, someone throw out some more questions and discussion. Hell yeah. So, Herminio, did you open that mystery box yet, by the way? Speaking of picks of the year, I think there's something in there you'll really like. I got distracted. What was I saying? Oh, every week we always look forward to what's coming up in new shops. But if you want to know, always check out Bueller's video on Wednesday mornings when he releases his preview video for next week's new comics, the day of New Comic Book Day. So this New Comic Book Day, the preview video for next week will be hitting. And fantastic work and a valuable resource for any comic book fan and collector. Image has a hell of a week this week, Bueller. Oh my goodness. They're like everything. They're like, just put out fucking everything. Mark says, I really need to read Gideon Falls. I have all the issues. Got 2 weeks off to try and catch up on a bunch of stuff. It's the perfect time to get caught up, Mark, because you got 2 weeks off and the final issue, the 80-page finale, drops this week. And it is one of the best comic books of the last 5 years. Well, yeah, Fable, Herminio did get a Tapeworm Boy exclusive requested commission. But there's also a comic book in there that may be one of the absolute best events of the year in Herminio's eyes. And I left a special message on the cover of it. Ace got the Friday the 13th box from Shout Factory. Hell yeah, that was one of my favorite pickups of the year. That was definitely my favorite Blu-ray pickup of the year. My favorite movie pickup is that. It's not going to be featured in my Feats of Strength on Wednesday night, though, because I got some good ones. What's up, 67Y? I don't know how you want me to say that. Your kicks. I'll just say that. Your kicks. What's up? Always a pleasure as well. Ricardo, what do I think about Star Wars The High Republic? Initially, I was really confused. I was like, so this is like when the Jedi were at their peak. So they were like, there's like blood everywhere, right? They're like smoking up, right? That's what they mean, the High Republic? No, but apparently it's just the Old Republic, just like the new official Disney canon version of it. I don't know. I'll check it out. So I'm excited to check it out. Herminio says, not yet. I'm filming the mystery box tomorrow. Okay, so you haven't opened yet. Fable's like, gotta be Empire. Maybe Fable's on to something. I do not pick Thunderdome. Are we doing Thunderdome this week? I don't know if you said if we were or not. Was Empire the worst event? I don't know. I may have some opinions on things like Endless Winter. Just maybe. Just maybe. Next week. Okay. Cool. So we're delayed in winning Thunderdome for another week. It's okay, PCP Army. We'll have our day. Thank you, Isaac. You the man. Tin Man says, I plan on reading Gideon Falls all at once in October 2020. Oh, I see. She's been waiting to read it all. I'm excited for this finale. It's going to be sad to see the book go, but story's got to end. Billy, you should read all of Empire if you're interested in it, and then let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about it. Because I'm more interested in what you think than what I think. I know what I think. I know who I am. Who are you? Don't forget, everybody, be here Wednesday night for our 3rd annual Festivus stream. We'll be raising the Festivus poll. We got a real one this year. We'll be airing our grievances. We'll be displaying our feats of strength, which is a show and tell. And it will be filled with Festivus miracles. It's going to be a fun show. This is the longest Thunderdome victory ever, by the way. We need like 1 fucking point. And Bueller goes out of town for a week. It's like it was planned. Christian says, hello from the Philippines. Well, station. Hell yeah. Fable says, just wrapped up Ten of Swords. Binged most of it. I liked it. It's good as a binge. I finished up. I didn't like it when it started getting really kooky when the actual tournament started, reading it week to week. But when I sat down and read it all together, I liked it a lot better. So I would say Ten of Swords is still a solid event and a nice setup for what's to come. Ultimately, it was one of the absolute best apocalypse stories ever told, I think. Oh, Ice Cream Man's one of the best every single year as well. It's so good. Mudfoot, I hear good things about the Marvel Darth Vader book right now, but I'm so far behind. I mean, I know it's a newer book, so I'm not that far behind. But I just was like, maybe if I just did a blanket cut all Star Wars books. I mean, I don't read every single Star Trek book as it comes out. I get them, and I read them. I have the idea that I'll read them one day. It did have a solid ending. It had a rough middle, but it gets ironed out when you read it together. TSG says, I finished Ten of Swords yesterday. It reads really well together. It really does. Yeah, it's like on 8 issues right now. I'll have to check it out. Fucking Bueller. Bueller says, you just lost 2 points for complaining. Thunderdome is a complaint-free zone. All right. As long as we get second place, we still win. I'm sorry for complaining, Bueller. You're right. I don't think I complained. I think all I said was we have to wait another week, which I think is a little fishy. But it's okay. It's fine. We'll take the 2 points. Give them to two brothers. One for each of them. Isaac says, Robbie, I see you're a big horror fan. What's your favorite for 2020, and why is it John Carpenter's The Thing? Well, I mean, John Carpenter's The Thing did come out in 2020. Isaac, it came out in 1982. It's definitely one of my favorite horror movies of 1982. I'd have to look at the list of what's all came out that year in particular, but it may be my favorite movie, horror movie of 82. It's definitely not my favorite movie of 82, unfortunately, though, because Blade Runner came out in 82. But Blade Runner and The Thing are like two of my... I think 1982 is one of the best years for film, period. Because you had that trifecta of perfect film to me on all different levels, with Blade Runner as the peak of sci-fi, and then you had The Thing as like the peak of horror, and then you had E.T., which was like the peak of family film, you know? Family film blockbuster. You know, Fable, Weber's always been the best Marvel Star Wars book since they've gotten the stuff better. Look at John up here with his hot takes. Says Tron is better than Blade Runner and The Thing, and I will concede that Tron came out in 1982, which was one of the absolute best years for film, and that's me and John agreed that that's one of the best years for film. A very influential film cinematic year for me and John. John, by the way, is of course Hammer Time Holeshoe, co-founder and my partner here at PCP. I have yet to really fully appreciate Tron, John. Tron, John. Why have I never thought about how that rhymes? I have yet to truly appreciate Tron, John. So I need another watch. I need another watch of Tron. I gotta really pay attention. We should do Tron in 2021, John. Again. I know we've already done it, but we should do it again. Let me revisit it without like the involvement of alcohol or friends, and just focus on it. Because me and John really agree on a lot about movies we love. PCP to the dog and THC to the god. All right, Bobby. All right. Bueller's got a good point. He says, 9K subscribers for Robbie. Congrats, my friend. You would think you could get more than 25 of them to vote for you. You just got thunderstruck. Yeah, I know. Like, the biggest votes in Thunderdome, like, the wins are always, like, 25 votes. And there's a lot of us here in the PCP Army. But the PCP Army comes through when we need them to. I don't know if that's a problem with me, Bueller, if it's a problem with your video, your top 10 video. Maybe you need to do something. Maybe you need to change your thumbnail up or the way it's worded. Maybe you need to change out the SEO. Maybe that's on you, brother. If you're so confident, Bueller, by the way, why don't you enter Thunderdome? Huh? Why don't you come into Thunderdome in season 2? Yeah, Bueller, you're the one with like over 15K subscribers, and congratulations, my friend. But why can you only get like 25 votes? Why can you only get like 50 votes for Thunderdome? Maybe you need to bring the other guy back. Yeah, we chilling with Dylan and we watching Tron with John. We chilling with Dylan and we watching Tron with John. Oh, me and Bueller, we like to mess with each other, but we at least for me it's all love. Bueller probably secretly hates me. Bueller's one of my favorite homies. I cannot wait. I was so jealous that you came to Florida and like there was no way I was going to be able to make it down there. Because like I'm so close to Florida comparatively to where you are normally. I was so jealous of Perry. I'm like, goddamn, Perry got to meet Bueller. I want to meet Bueller. Now, they said those Bueller sightings. I saw a home, like a grainy home video one time of a Bueller sighting out in the forest. Chilling with Dylan. Chill with Dylan. Bueller says, Thunderdome can't handle the Bueller. Yeah, I might need to bring the other guy back. Sam Fett says he's out for the night. Merry Christmas, PCP family. Much love. Station, Merry Christmas. Happy Festivus. I hope to see you Wednesday night. The Station thing is a reference to the Bill and Ted films. It started in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. The Station comes from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. There was an excellently placed station in the newest Bill and Ted film. So that's where it comes from. Just the PCP Army and the excitable PCP crew's embracement of the Bill and Ted trilogy as probably the best trilogy of all time. Bueller says Perry is fatter than he looks. Made me feel better about myself. What? It's fucked up. That's fucked up. So basically, Station just means be excellent to each other and party on. You can think of it that way. But it's a reference to the aliens and just an inside joke from the creators of Bill and Ted, Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon. Chris Matheson has been on the show, by the way. So he's a friend of the show, we can say. But those are those are the stations. So there you go. All right, what's next? We're going to take a look at what's coming up in comic shops this week. But you should always go and look at Bueller's video every Wednesday morning. So, Bueller said that Image had a really good week, and they do. Here we go. We got Department of Truth number 4. Yeah. I think 4 issues is enough to be considered for Best of the Year. Family Tree number 10. Gideon Falls 27, that's the final issue. Ice Cream Man number 22 with its Christmas issue. I'm so excited. Philadelphia number 11. I need to get caught up on that. I hear good things. Marked number 10. Outcast number 47. Oblivion Song 29. Redneck 29. Scumbag number 3. Sea of Stars number 8. Spawn 313 with the McFarlane cover and a Greg Capullo cover. You're killing me. Tartarus number 8. And Undiscovered Country number 11. It was like Image was just like, release the fucking Kraken. Just put them all out. Who gives a shit? Dark Horse did the opposite. They're putting out You Look Like Death, Tales from the Umbrella Academy number 4. They're also putting out the Seeds trade paperback, so not even finishing the publications of the single issues. So there you go. From IDW, we have the Comic Book History of Animation number 2. We have G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, 277. Goosebumps, Secret of the Swamp number 4. We have Scarent number 3 already. Sea of Sorrows number 2 from Rich Douek and Alex Cormack. Very excited for that. Sleeping Beauties number 4. Sonic the Hedgehog, Bad Guys number 4. Star Wars Adventures Smuggler's Run number 1. And Transformers Back to the Future number 2. From Marvel Comics, we got an amazing Spider-Man 54.LR, because what would Christmas be without a .LR Spider-Man book from Marvel Comics? Doctor Doom number 10, because what would Christmas be without Marvel giving us finally the final issue of Doctor Doom? And I hate that I'm excited about that, because Doom's like my favorite character, period. Excalibur number 16 is out this week. We got King in Black number 2. King Size Conan number 1. That's a one-shot. We got Maestro number 5, the final issue. Marvels number 3. What else we got? We got Spider-Woman number 7. Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 8. And U.S. Agent number 2. Not going to read that one. Really did not like issue number 1. From Dynamite, we got Mars Attacks Red Sonja number 5. And Vengeance of Vampirilla number 13. From Boom Studios, we have Dune, House Atreides number 2, second print, and number 3, first print. We have Firefly Blue Sun Rising number 1. We have Jim Henson's Labyrinth Masquerade number 1, and Something is Killing the Children number 13, as well as Unkindness of Ravens number 4. From DC Comics, we have Action Comics 1028, that's Bendis' final issue. We have Batman Beyond, issue number 50, that's the final issue of that series. We have Batman Superman number 15, that's Joshua Williamson's final issue of that book. We have Batman White Knight Presents Harley Quinn number 3. We have Black Adam Endless Winter number 1, that's a one-shot Endless Winter tie-in. Dark Knight's Death Metal Secret Origin number 1, it's a one-shot. Detective Comics 1000 and... is that 33? I can't read my own writing. Justice League Dark 29. Turns out that's actually the final issue. But Rom V is actually doing backup stories in the Bendis Justice League book. We can talk about that in the second segment. Red Hood number 52, that's the last issue. Last God number 11, and Wonder Woman 769, which I think is Tamaki's final issue of Wonder Woman. Now, Something's Killing the Children shouldn't be my Thunderdome pick, because like Two Brothers always picks that. It's almost like they always pick the Tiny and Book of the Week. And I don't want to try to pick the same thing as anybody else. Plus, we're not doing Thunderdome this week, so it's no skin off our sacks anyway, right? This is Tomasi's final issue of Detective Comics. I haven't read any of that G.I. Joe book. I've never read any of the stuff from the 80s, even the Marvel stuff. I've read the Silent issue with Snake Eyes. I've read that. That's the only one I've ever read. Did I tell Chris PCP owns Station Now? No. I should send him a really weird email. We own Station Now, motherfucker. Don't try to take it back. The animal thing on the Station pick, what is that? That's Station. They're Martians. They're two Martians named Station, and they combine into one giant Martian named Station. And it spurned in the future Station. You read it? Not good. You talking about Something's Killing the Children? Bueller. Herminio says, I went on a live stream last week and stationed the chat, and the guys on the channel was like, what the hell is that? And he goes, I don't know, some new thing 20-year-olds do these days. I'm flattered. That's so freaking funny. My favorite Christmas-themed comic, Robbie, that's Klaus, the Grant Morrison, Dan Mora book from Boom Studios about the origin of the barbarian Santa Claus, in a way. I absolutely loved it. That's my favorite Christmas-themed book. But another one of my childhood favorites I grew up with was the Marvel Holiday Special from 1991. And if you haven't already, I would highly encourage you to check out, after we're done, obviously, last week's Rockin Robbie Live, in which I did a Marvel in the 90s segment about that issue of the Marvel Holiday Special, which I would show off, but I let Brooks borrow it because he had never read it. So there you go. All right. Also, other publishers. We have, what does that say? Oh, Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, #2. That's from Behemoth. We have Black of Heart, #2. We have Claim, Song of Ire and Vice, #1. Cold Dead Hands, #1. I think those last few were Source Point Press. We have Dark Interlude, #2 from Vault Comics. Very excited for that. Dryfoot, #4. Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Blood, #3. Electric Black Presents, #2. Era of Great Wonders, #1. Gloomhaven, Fallen Lion. It's a one-shot. Grindel, Kentucky, #4, the final issue from AWA. Miles to Go, #3. The Picture of Everything Else, which probably honestly would be my Thunderdome pick if it was this week. That or Gideon Falls. But a new Dan Waters book. It's going to be dope. I hear nothing but amazing things from people that I really respect about this. I myself haven't gotten an early look yet, though, which is weird because I get early looks at almost every Dan book. Dan's going to be on the show in 2021. Rick and Morty, Ever After, #3. Shadow Service, #5. Touching Evil, #11. Villainous, #3. Exo Manowar, #3. And Yasmin, #5. If y'all want me to cover more Valiant, just go Station Valiant if you want me to cover more Valiant books. They send me early looks at everything they do. And I feel bad because I don't cover it. Do you want me to start covering Valiant books? Let me know. Ed says, my cat's looking at me weird. That's just the way it goes. That's the way love goes. Babel says, people station back, so it's spreading like wildfire. I absolutely loved it because we do it at work all the time at the shop. People come in, we'll just go, station! And like most people's response to being stationed by like 3 people at the same time is to go, station! Even though they don't know what it is, you understand what it is. It's what's up? Great to see you. Hell yeah. Be excellent to each other. Party on. Rock on. Mora's doing a variant cover for that Doctor Doom Iron Man. Oh, Dan Mora. Doctor Doom. Bruh. Might have to get that one, even though it's written by Marvel. I mean, it's written by Christopher. Can't write well at Marvel. Why do I love Christopher Cantwell's indie books, but I can't fucking stand his Marvel books? And they're like my favorite shit. It's like Iron Man and Doctor Doom, and I can't stand them. Hey, L-Dub is here. What's up, L-Dubs? Lance W. Allen, who wrote the book Black Spec, which was the first and only comic book that I've ever published as the editor. So that's always available, by the way, Black Spec. So always check that out at dancepandacomic.com. It's on Comixology. So hell yeah. Lance says, I have a Marvel Holiday Special from 91. Some gentleman named Robbie ensured it was a part of my collection. Station! Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Seems like Billy wants me to cover Valiant, so there you go. That's one person. Herminio, there's another one. Yeah, L-Dubs is my homie. He's been on a couple videos. He did a Comics Revisited with us. Yeah, station can also mean like Merry Christmas. It's like aloha. It's whatever the hell you need it to mean. But it's always positive. And that's why PCP has embraced it so much. Yeah, like Valiant sends me all their stuff and I just never read them because I'm always like in the middle of it. Mark says, I used to read a lot of Valiant, but last year I just stopped. It all seemed to get lost. I read the Incursion book by Alex Packnadell, but, that was because at the time Alex sent them to me. Hey, J-Strix in the house. Station. Let's do a special station for J-Strix. Station, my man. How you doing, Strick? What's up, Twitch? Twitch is in the house. What's up? Speaking of Twitch being in the house, it's time to go ahead and take the break. We're going to take a break real quick, but when we get back, we'll be doing a DC Comics sneak peek, and we'll be talking about Savage Avengers, and we will be doing a top 5, the first of 2 top 5 tonight. I know we just had a lot of exciting people come in, and Ricky, you're right, Daddy, the McRib is back. I've had the McRib twice. I actually had it yesterday for lunch, and it was good. Mike is in here. It was easy read. Everybody's showing up, and we're about to take a break. This is Surreal by The Basement Show. We'll be right back. When we come back, lots of fun. Like I said, DC Comics sneak peek, Savage Avengers talk, and top 5 Christmas something. Keep rocking.
Another one. Pay attention, sons and daughters of the revolutionary era's just begun. Put on your AF1s, this road we travel on. Not for the faint of heart, so grab a friend, she'll tag along. Walk down the street in any ghetto, see what life's about, then turn around and block it out. Hip-hop ain't dead, it's underground. For ages, sages relay phrases, stories handed down. And history teaches us the past, it tends to stain the ground. Repeating echoes, screaming, making no sound. Distorted ripples trip as time slows down. Wake me when it's over, cause I need to sleep now. These visions kinda blurry, man, my head's in the clouds. Some people think that's it, what life's all about. Ignore the truth, it's fucking crazy, lights out. But still they walk around and round and round about. They high off ignorance and drunk off doubt. Surreal, sometimes this life is living in paradise, yeah. And it must be nice. I'm tired of all the shadows, so we fight the night. So real, sometimes this life is. You're living in paradise, yeah. And it must be nice. I'm tired of all the shadows, so we fight the night.
The vision of the last days, the mass craves alongside the fast lanes. The past came, it divided and it conquered, like Lexington and Concord. Crushed all in its weight, now it's moving steady onward. Back all the days of black and white simplicity. Can trust what I say, based solely on integrity. Basement Show, relaying the foundation. We making hip-hop safe for future generations. Your rappers are liable to keep music tribal, with beats from the soul and lyrics so vital. We find through the line hold, taking over radio, reply on the bio. Just turn off that video, listen to their sound. They don't respect your dreams, we bring them to the ground. We take away the wings, the head of gold is Babylon. And when it falls, we'll travel on a journey that may take you on. Just don't develop this gravel song.
So real, sometimes this life is. You're living in paradise, yeah. And it must be nice. I'm tired of all the shadows, so we fight the night. So real, sometimes this life is. You're living in paradise, yeah. And it must be nice. I'm tired of all the try and spit these verses. I'm broke as fuck, ran out of luck too long ago to surface. This underground inhabitants wreaks havoc on my nerves, bitch. Frontal lobotomy, rewired me half-heartedly. So I retardedly did ponder this philosophy. Indulge in self and chase that paper's what they tell me. No need for thought, brainwashing with the telly. Fulfilling dreams is not my purpose, it's my enemy. I'm just a sheep, I need relief, saved from the powers that be. Then I awoke as if reviving mid-autopsy. Stared at Dali Salvador and realized this life's a metaphor. For what I don't know doesn't matter to me anymore. This surreal life, so one we're given unresponsible for. So real life, this is so real life. So real life, this is so real life. So real, sometimes this life is living in paradise, yeah. And it must be nice. I'm tired of all the shadows, so we fight the night. So real, sometimes this life is living in paradise, yeah. And it must be nice. I'm tired of all the shadows, so we fight the night. So real, sometimes this life is living in paradise, yeah. And it must be nice. I'm tired of all the shadows, so we fight the night.
Welcome back, PCP Army. Welcome back to Pop Culture Philosophers and to Rockin Robbie Live. In fact, the final Rockin Robbie Live of the year, but have no fear, because we will be going live this upcoming Wednesday night. We'll talk about that in a second, but first of all, join the PCP Army on Facebook. Make it official. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, you might as well join us. And you might as well follow Pop Culture Philosophers. We're there. We're on Instagram. I'm on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP like these fine patrons right here. Lots of them. Lots of people have joined the PCP patron army over the last couple months, and I really appreciate it. Everybody, give them a hearty station. But you just support the channel just by watching the videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz and more. And I know that Twitch is on his lunch break, eating some Pizza Hut pizza, stuffed crust, Italian sausage, green peppers, and banana peppers. I ordered pizza the other day. I ordered it from Domino's, and I tell you what I did. I got a regular crust, light sauce, salami, double pepperoni, and it was delicious. Delicious. Next time I'm going to get it thin crust, though. I'm a big thin crust fan. So how's everybody doing? We've had a great show already. We've taken a look, I should say, at what the best comics of last week were. We've taken a look at what's coming up this week. We're going to take a further look at what's coming up this week, because we're about to get into our DC sneak peek, because we want to get to the Savage Avengers section while Twitch is able to watch us. A couple of announcements real quick. Like I said, Wednesday night, the Festivus stream, the Festivus poll, the airing of grievances, the feats of strength, Christmas, or should I say Festivus miracles, will become profound and will well abound. Wednesday, December 23rd, 8 p.m. Central Time for our Festivus stream. I just got word today that Brooks will not be joining us. He's dealing with some bit of a family emergency. It seems like everything will be fine, but he is unable to join us. And it sucks because he was at the last two, and this is our third annual Festivus stream. But we'll see what can happen. No movie reviews for the rest of the year, but they return Friday night, January 8th, with a look at Buckaroo Banzai. Very excited for that. And the very next night, January 9th, Dylan's Horror Show over at Dylan's Comics with co-host me, Saturday, starting January 9th. Dylan's horror show is going to be great. The first episode, where it's going to be me and Dylan talking about our favorite horror movies. Please be there with us live so we can all chat about it. And station to the PCP Army. All right. Yeah, I gotta get back with Brooks. I don't know if Brooks is aware that. I think Brooks thought it was gonna be like the rest of the Festivus streams. We're gonna do it here, but we're all actually coming in from our own places. So anyway, we'll get there. Thin crust anchovy and feta. Huh. That's interesting. Chillin' with Dylan. Yo, we chillin' with Dylan. Chillin' with Dylan. We chill with Dylan. Watching movies with the killins and we rooting for the villains because we chillin'. Chillin' with Dylan. You know how it goes. Yeah, Brooks will be missed if he doesn't make it. Jay Strick's going to be there, though. Jelani's going to be there. Mike's going to be there. So it's still going to be a grand old time at the Festivus stream because I hope that you'll be there Wednesday night, December 23rd, 8 p.m. Central. The third annual PCP Festivus stream party. It's like Christmas party. It's like Christmas party. And one more little announcement. If from this point forward we get $20 in super chats, two things are going to happen. Number one, I guarantee that if we get from this point forward, we've already had a few, and I appreciate it. But if we get $20 in super chats for this last Rockin' Robbie Live of the year, $20, this is what happens. Number one, I guarantee that PCP does a New Year's Eve stream in which we will talk with you live about our favorite things of the year, movies, music, TV, comics, all that and more. Celebrating the New Year's, right? Right? And I guarantee I can get Brooks on that. And the other thing that happens is this. I take that $20, I throw my own $5 in, and we pay for 1 month of StreamYard for Dylan. So that when we do Dylan's horror show, starting in January, we can have an intro, and he doesn't have to have that annoying-ass duck. So I'm telling you right now, $20 in Super Chats, you get a New Year's Eve night stream, and we get the fucking duck taken away for Dylan for 1 month. I'll give him the money, and I'll be like, there you go. Brooks says, in that case, I can make it. I knew it. I knew Brooks when I got your message. I was like, I need to respond to him, but I don't know if Brooks realizes. First of all, I didn't know how serious the situation was, and I also didn't know if you thought that you were coming over here so that you could help erect the Festivus pole. So everybody, a Festivus miracle has happened. Our first Festivus miracle. Brooks will actually be appearing for the Festivus stream. We also have $6 in Super Chats right now. That means $14 more. And we can pay 1 month of StreamYard for Dylan. And we do a New Year's Eve streams. Thank you so much, Eric and Stefan. Ignore it where it says it goes to the Tomb of Dracula. This goes to Dylan. We'll just do this instead. Super Chats go to Dylan to get him some StreamYard for January. So I can cut him together an intro. Tomorrow's got 5 on it. Says, F that duck. Yo, let's do it. Jay Strick, you still here? Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Jay Strick. He likes to give that straight dick, but you never know what's coming if he's gonna sail or sink. I don't know what you think about Jay Strick. I don't know what you think about his straight dick. But Perry said do not tarry when you know it's coming around. Let me tell you where we go. Now we're getting Dylan some StreamYard. Fuck that duck. Fuck the duck like Jason Lee said one time. Where did he say that? Enemy of the state, it's a movie. And what's the first thing that he says? Jason Lee says it one time. Fuck a duck. Yeah. That's straight dick from Jay Strick. You never know. And now we're going. His name is Joker. We did it! Dylan, if you're watching on the replay, he's not here right now, but I'll tell him the good news soon. Dylan's got StreamYard for 1 month, paid for by the PCP Army, so that we can do an intro and all that. That J-Strick is crazy. J-Strick, thank you for having a good, hearty laugh with us. And Twitch, thank you for throwing in the final bits there. In fact, Twitch, because you are so spectacularly awesome and helping us, along with everybody else, to get to that goal of funding StreamYard for Dylan, we are going to rearrange the schedule for you so that you are 100% here guaranteed to be here for Savage Avengers Talk. Last week we did a crowdfunding goal, just like we just did, so thank you so much, PCP Army. Station. Dylan is chilling, but not with the duck. He says, yo, fuck the duck, let's talk about luck. I got a new truck. We're going to take out the duck and eat it for dinner. Christmas dinner. Don't you know? I'm not a sinner because I take my... whatever. I was going to say I take my shots when I'm supposed to. What the fuck does that mean? Anyway, we're going to talk about Savage Avengers. Last week, I told you guys that we were going to read this and we were going to watch it. So I did. I read book 1. It's the first 5 issues and the free comic book day bit. And then book 2, which has, 6 through 10, and the annual. And then I read number 11, number 12, number 13, number 14, number 15, and number 16, which just came out this week. So I have read these. And I actually read them today. So it's fresh on my mind. So let's talk about Savage Avengers. What do I, Rockin Robbie, think about Savage Avengers? Let me take a swig. Savage Avengers is, to me, by far, the most ridiculous, the most obnoxious, the most dumb, and the most fun and awesome comic book at Marvel right now. Holy cow. What the hell? Savage Avengers is crazy. So this is why I didn't read Savage Avengers going on forward. I read like the first couple issues, and I was annoyed that very quickly Marvel decided to throw Conan into the Marvel Universe. I was like, that's so stupid. Just give us good, solid Conan stories. I felt like they were doing it. Jason Aaron's Conan stories, that 12-issue run was amazing. With Azrar on the artwork, that's really good stuff. But I really wish I would have stuck this one through, because this book is ridiculous. I see it right out there. Fable says it's the Roadhouse of comics. That's exactly what it is. First of all, I freaking love Conan in the Marvel Universe because of the way he interacts with people. And I really liked his interaction with Logan, with Wolverine. Thought that was cool. But when I really fell in love with the idea of Conan in the Marvel Universe for a short time was in the second story that involved him teaming up with Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom. Like, holy cow. That shit was so fucking funny. And it's Conan's response to them. And the book is wild. When we say it's the Roadhouse, we really mean that. It is straight up made for people that like Roadhouse and Marvel Comics. I mean, straight up. Like, if you liked Marvel Comics in the 80s and you like Roadhouse, you're going to like this book. What do you get in this book? Let's see. You get Doctor Strange fucking Elektra. You get that. That's interesting. Sure. Then you get, what is, Conan calls Wolverine's claws his sneak blades, and he wants his own pair, and we're going to eventually get to that. You get some wild-ass Frank Castle, Conan bonding moments. You get the only man I've ever seen to talk shit to Doctor Doom, and Victor not fry him and incinerate him immediately. That's Conan. Conan is brilliant in the Marvel Universe. He's got this grudge. He hates sorcerers. People don't treat him the way they should, but at the same time, he's so random. He's whoring about. He's whoring himself across the South America of the 616. Like, it is wild. You've got this one story that Jerry Duggan is telling. And I like that they're telling one story. That gives me the sense that Conan's only there for a little bit. It's not permanent, obviously, so let's have fun with it. This book is meant to be fun. It's dumb, it's ridiculous, it's stupid. That's what it's meant to be. I know Duggan's work, and I know what he's capable of, and I know what he wants to do when he wants you to have fun, and what he wants to do when you want to take it seriously. And this book is not taking itself seriously. This is, seriously, if you like Roadhouse and Marvel Comics in the 80s, if you like Frank Miller's Daredevil, did you like Punisher in the 80s? Oh, you liked Conan the Barbarian? Oh, you like Chris Claremont, Frank Miller, and Wolverine? Oh, you like all that? Yeah? Here you go. Here's the one misstep. Venom. Venom's involvement is way out of place. And because, I guess, of Donny Cates' plans, they were never able to really do much with it. But then they add in other people like Black Knight. Black Knight's badass in this book. You got Black Widow. You got Magic just showing up. Juggernaut. Like, wild. That dragon fight. Oh, my goodness. Y'all, I'm having so much fun with this. It's ongoing, but to a point. There's going to be a point where this book ends. And you can only do this for so long and sustain it. But this book is crazy. I didn't think books like this existed anymore. Duggan's done a great job with it, of not taking the book too seriously, but making it be very fun and a wild adventure. Now, when I read it all together at once, okay, it does bog itself down a little bit. But I think that this is definitely something enjoyed issue to issue. And yes, Red Rick, I did read the most current issue. But all the, what is it, Shuma Garoth, all that stuff, isn't that the cat? Wasn't he in one of those Marvel Capcom video games, right? I know who he is, and like, didn't Marvel lose the rights? Did they get the rights back when they got the Conan rights, or did they not know what to do? Anyway, and what's the wizard's name? What's his name? It's, I remember him, because, what's his name? Someone's going to shout it out before I even get to it. Oh, what's that dude's name? The prosthetic leg beatdown. So, this is ridiculous. Conan's in bed with like 5 women. One of them gets up to snort some cocaine, which, by the way, is totally laced with something that's going to like bring in this elder god, and because the whole idea, Kulan Goth, that's right? So his whole idea is that he's been cannibalizing basically Sorcerer Supremes and magical, leaders and all this shit for a while. And so he's like eating them to gain their powers, right? And now he wants to take this Shuma Garoth character, this elder god, this Lovecraftian type concept, this entity, right? That, yes, is in the Marvel vs. Capcom game. So you got all that. And he's trying to... So what his plan is he's like, there's no way I can call this elder god in and eat him and consume him all at once. So he's bringing him in little bits at a time through some kind of poison that he's lacing cocaine with, so that people that are doing cocaine are like invoking this like dark elder god and being possessed by him, and then he finds them and eats them. Like, it's so fucking wild. And then so you got Conan in bed with like these 5 or 6 women. One of them gets up, does some coke, turns into this monster. Conan kills him and then beats the monster to death with the prosthetic leg from one of the women that he's with. This is in a Marvel comic in 2020, y'all. This is in a Marvel comic. Like, this blows my mind. It was so wild, so B-movie ridiculous. Like, what the hell? Like, if you grew up in the 80s and you loved Marvel Comics and you loved Roadhouse and you loved Bikini Car Wash and Police Academy, you'd love this shit. So, he beats this monster-possessed cocaine woman to death with this prosthetic leg from another woman that he's been with. And then, immediately after this happens, one of the women's like, Now get in bed with us. And he does. And Black Widow's like, yo, we seriously skipping the idea that he like went in bed. Like, this book is so wild. I can't believe that Marvel's publishing this. I cannot believe that Marvel's publishing this. And I cannot believe that more people are not talking about this. Like, I don't hear people talking about this book. I see you all talking about it. So that's why last week I was like, okay, we hit the goal tonight. We'll do Savage Avengers. This book is so damn wild. This book is so damn wild. It's not like Next Wave, because I think Next Wave, for its eccentricness, it is also a little bit more resounding thematically. But this one, there's no thematic, like, emotional weight and resonance to this book. It is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, when I was reading it, I was like, this Doctor Strange Elektra thing doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't work. Like, I don't see how it fits with the characters. But then in the context of what type of story they're telling, it really does. And it's such a wild moment. And, like, she's like, do you use gravity on all of your women? And, like, at least what the... Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, I loved Savage Avengers. So, PCP Army, I feel like I need to give y'all $25 because thank you. A mighty station on that. Your leg died well again. Like... There's no way Dugan, it's Duggan, right? There's no way that he is writing this seriously. I mean, you read his other work, and it can get silly. Marauders gets silly, but it gets this tinge of seriousness to it, this weight. Savage Avengers is just a romp. That's why I love it. Like, I was annoyed with the idea that they brought in Conan to the Marvel Universe. But I'm so relieved that they're just having fucking fun with it. Like, they're not doing anything crazy. It's not leading up to some kind of a big-time event or whatever that's going to tie everything together. God, we hope not, right? It has the potential to do that, but I don't think they will. But I love it. I love it. I love it. But my favorite issues... my favorite story is the Doom story. I feel like if I want to look at it critically, they're starting to ramp it up too fast in the newest story arc or whatever. But I like Patch Zurcher on the artwork. That's really great. Diodato was really, really solid on the... Diodato was really solid on the first arc. That's when he retired from Marvel and went and started doing AWA stuff. Zurcher's stuff is really great. I like his stuff. It doesn't have a roughness that I feel like it needs. It's a little too clean for this book. I would like to see a little bit more grit to the inking. I don't know if he still uses an inker or if it's all digital now, but I'd like to see more of a grit to Zurcher's artwork, and I think he's a fantastic artist. But I really like it. Yo! And we got a Jay Strick with $25 throwing us out into the orange. He says, I'm matching PCP Army for Dylan. Cheers to 2 months of StreamYards now. Sub up to Dylan's Comics. The new horror show with Dylan and Robbie will be epic. Station. Yeah, and Jay Strick is going to be on the 3rd episode of that. Jay Strick, thank you so much. That's 2 months we got funded for Dylan on StreamYard. Check it. Let me tell you about this young man I know. His name is Dylan. He likes comic books, but he likes horror movies a bit more, so we're telling him to chill out with Dylan. We chillin' with Dylan, and we killin', and we hit the feeling, and you know we are so excited. It hits the ceiling, and it never knows where we go. We gonna do it toe to toe. Get ready for Dylan's horror show. 2 months without any stupid duck. Then we will get together weekly, and we'll say to each other, you know what we're doing. Chillin' with Dylan. Chillin' with Dylan. We chillin' with Dylan. Watching movies with the killin', and we feelin' for the villains, cause we chillin'. Chillin' with Dylan. Chillin' with Dylan. Jay Strick, straight dick. What? Perry with the ferry taking his way to Staten Island. He doesn't know where he's going at night. And then you got Beulah over there with Bob. They say they feeling alright. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, to conclude, Jay Strick, thank you so much. We got 2 months StreamYard funded for Dylan in 2021. But to wrap it all up, Savage Avengers, which has 2 trades out right now and then like 6 issues, is a wild, rambunctious ride in which Conan is fucking his way across the Marvel Universe. Cocaine is turning people into like Cthulhu, like acolytes. Like it's wild, it's rambunctious, it's fun, it's not taking itself seriously, and it's exactly what it should be. Savage Avengers, everybody. Station for Savage Avengers. I'm feeling loosey-goosey here on the last Rockin Robbie Live of the year, but it's not our last live stream because we got the Festivus stream coming up on the 23rd. That's this upcoming Wednesday night. And then we have funded not only 2 months of StreamYard for Dylan at Dylan's Comics. Okay? But we have also guaranteed me going live with members of the Excitable PCP crew, hopefully, to talk about our favorite things of 2020. Because we air our grievances Wednesday. But then the next Thursday, we're going to be talking about what we loved about this year. So join us for New Year's Eve. We're celebrating here live at PCP. So thank you so much. Ricky, that's from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. So I'm glad we got to that. Hopefully, Twitch was able to check it all out before his lunch break was over. But now it's time to get to the DC sneak peek. So because of scheduling, I've actually been able to read the next 2 weeks of DC books. But I'm not going to speak on next week's books. But they're few and they're good. I'll just say that, right? All right. Coming up this week from DC, we have Justice League Dark number 29. This is the final issue of Justice League Dark, which means that issue 28 was in fact the last issue of Justice League Dark. Basically, because this is Endless Winter. So that sucks. Justice League Dark is now going to be a backup story in Brian Michael Bendis' Justice League. Still written by Ron V, but a backup story. Is it worth $5? Sure, because I was going to check out the fucking Bendis Justice League anyway. But as a final issue, it doesn't work. But as a chapter within Endless Winter, which has been a kind of lackluster and mediocre event so far with a strong beginning and then a bunch of pointless tie-ins with a little bit of dangling plot threads connecting it all together, it gets a little bit back into focus in Justice League Dark number 29. So this was a decent issue. If you're following the narrative, it works. It works there and it works here in the Black Adam Endless Winter special. So this is part 8. So that's part 7. This is part 8. Both of these issues are way better than any of the other tie-ins at bringing the story back together to a focal point leading into the final issue of Endless Winter, which is Justice League Endless Winter number 2, which is next week, which I've read. And it's a solid ending, to be honest. Batman Superman number 15. Read this one. This is the final issue of this book by Joshua Williamson. Because it's going in a future state with Gene Luen Yang, who's an amazing creator for the most part. And he's doing the future state books, and then he's taking over the book, and it's going to have a new direction where it's focusing on the Batman-Superman team-ups, the world's finest of different universes, which I think is really a great direction for a book like this. But this is a nice, solid, fun, one-and-done story, and it's about Solomon Grundy and Batman and Superman trying to help him. And I thought that this was actually the best issue of Williamson's Batman Superman yet. That was it. That was the best one. That was really good. Here we have Action Comics 1028. This is the final issue of Action Comics, the final Superman issue by Bendis. It's not that bad. It's okay. The artwork doesn't seem as rushed. Of course, I'm getting used to this more sloppy, rushed John Romita Jr. But the story's okay. It wraps everything up in a neat, tidy little bow. But still, all in all, it doesn't change my opinion on what Bendis' run on Superman was. So this is a nice fitting in for Bendis' Superman, which means that it's kind of mediocre, lackluster, and pointless. And some things that Bendis set up have already been undone by certain things, like Endless Winter. Anyway, Detective Comics is here with 1033. This is the final issue by Peter Tomasi. Do you feel like this is his final statement on the Batman-Damian relationship? And it leaves it in it's a nice final statement, but it leaves it in a great finish, in a great way for the next creative team to carry that on. Now, we know that Williamson is going to be doing a Damian backup story throughout the Batman books in 2021 when they return after Future State. Now, I know a lot of people aren't down. DC's tried this before, charging an extra $1 for their books, albeit now it's $4.99 for certain books, but there's a backup story, like an 8-page backup story probably. But if like there's a Damian Wayne one threading throughout, that's really cool. Justice League Dark on Justice League, that's kind of cool. Is it worth checking out for $5 if you just like the Rom V Justice League Dark? No. It's probably worth just getting that when they collect it eventually. But Detective Comics 1033 was a nice wrap-up to the story, a nice setup for Future State and what's to come afterwards in the Mariko Tamaki run, which that's decently exciting, I guess, but I'm more excited about Dan Mora coming on as the artist for Detective Comics. But Detective Comics 1033 was a nice final statement by Tomasi on the Damian-Bruce relationship. Then we got Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn issue number 3. Really liking this. Continuing one of my absolute favorite interpretations of Harley Quinn. This is a great book. Using the Grey Ghost, using like this, I love black and white cinema and old school Hollywood, the golden age of cinema, if you will. And I like that reference that they're making there with here. Matteo Scalera's artwork is great. It's really good. If you're going to do a spin-off book from Sean Murphy's universe, you can't have Sean Murphy, obviously, do the artwork because he's working on, volume 3 of White Knight. But Scalera is great, and the way that he shades and everything is toned, it looks fantastic artistically. And the work that's done with Harley has been amazing in that. Then we have Dark Knight's Death Metal Secret Origin. This is co-written by Scott Snyder and Jeff Johns. And it's got artwork by Jerry Ordway. We got Francis Manapul on here. We got Paul Pelletier. This is a really good issue. Is it 100% essential for Dark Knight's Death Metal? Probably not. But I liked it because it's a final statement almost on the character of Superboy Prime by Johns and a new fresh statement on the character by Snyder. They're all working together. It's tying all the Crisis events together. It gives a very appropriate ending to this character. It's not essential, but it is a moment in death metal that is, to me, striking, because death metal, as much as it's been an exciting, explosive event in and of itself, it is also speaking on all these other Crisis-level explosive so-called events over at DC. And this is speaking on a lot of stuff from Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis. And I like it. I really do. So I think Jeff Johns and Scott Snyder did a great job with that. So that was the DC comic book sneak peek of this week. But next week, without revealing too much, I'll just say we get The Last 52, War of the Multiverses. That's a big, hefty one-shot. That's not essential, but adds a little bit more emotional resonance and weight to the final battle in death metal. We got the Batman Annual number 5, Origin of Ghost Hunter, or Clown Killer, Clown Hunter, Ghost Hunter, Ghost Maker, but the origin of Clown Hunter. Yeah, there you go. That was a really good issue, actually. Justice League Endless Winter number 2, a decent finale. This Jenny Hex one shot by Mags Visaggio was really good. Like, really good. And then we got Tales from Dark Multiverse, Dark Knight's Metal. This one's really good. A cool, like, what if dark take on the initial Metal event. So those come out next week. The other ones come out this week. Some shops, we all got them at once. So some shops may actually just put them all out at once. Who knows? But that's what I thought, and that was the DC sneak peek. All right. We're rolling on through. This is a fun. Yeah, the annual comes out next week. Not this week, next week. So. Hi, Robbie. Hey, what's up, BJ? Elektra becomes a new Daredevil. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's super cool. I'm excited to see the next couple years of what Zdarsky, I should say, has in store. Future State, what are the most promising stories? For me, Ron V's Swamp Thing. Dan Waters' Superman, Wonder Woman. Joelle Jones, Wonder Woman. The Teen Titans. I don't know if it excites me story-wise, but I'm interested in this character that everybody seems to be so hype about. I'm pumped to see the next Batman. I'm really excited for Dark Detective because Dan Moore's artwork. So yeah, for me, it's those ones. I think the Yara Flor Wonder Woman I'm kind of excited about. I'm really pumped for the Superman books personally. I'm always pumped when I get a new take, a new direction, some kind of new interpretation on Superman. That's just me. But I think next Batman, Teen Titans, and Wonder Woman are going to be the essential spec picks. Because those are like focusing on new characters and first appearances and things like that. But I'm really pumped for the Batman books, the Superman books, the Wonder Woman books. But over everything, I am really, really excited for Ron V's Swamp Thing. Ricky says, Robbie, in 2021, you should do a Marvel in the 80s. Make it a weekly series. Well, I wanted initially Marvel in the 90s to be weekly. There's no way I can do that weekly. So we do it as often as we can. I want to do it more often, but here's the thing. I'll go ahead and just make some little things. Marvel in the 90s is not always going to be a segment. Sometimes it will go off. Sometimes it will come back, right? Twitch is off, back to work, so I'm really, really happy that we did the Savage Avengers talk when we did. But here's something I'm just going to say. The first episode of this type of a show segment that you're going to see in 2021 is going to be Marvel and DC in the 90s. And you're also going to see DC in the 90s. And you're also going to see Image in the 90s. You're going to see a focus on these live streams at some of my favorite comic books from the 90s. But it is a plan to do an 80s version as well. So basically, it's not so much that it's Marvel in the 90s anymore, but that it's ... in the 90s. And eventually we'll get to 80s. But we actually cover a lot of the things I would cover in the 80s, we cover in Comics Revisited. Like, we're doing some great stuff this year. All right, we got top 5 coming up. But let's see what you guys are chatting about. Not Bad is the best Bendis review I've heard of 2020. Not Bendis' best year, in my opinion. Twitch says, really sucked that DC is forcing Endless Winter on an ongoing series instead of making them one-shots. Yeah, just a series of like 4 or 5 one-shots would have been really sufficient to tell it. It's not a bad story, but because they're forcing it on these one-shots that are not necessary and on these tie-ins that are not necessary, but except for just like maybe 20 or 30% of the book, well, I'll tell you this. The first 3 things I know that I'm planning on covering in Image in the 90s is Witchblade, right? Weird stretch. Darkness, which I've always loved the Darkness. And Spawn, because I'm going to get to 100 issues of Spawn complete very soon. And I think that's when I'm doing my first Spawn segment fully, is when I've read all the first 100 issues. Which I'm like 15 away. I don't usually like, BJ, when a villain gets a comic book. Whether it's Joker, whether it's, I don't know, Punchline, Harley Quinn even, but they're really, really pushing hard for Harley Quinn to be a good guy now. And that's fine. So I don't typically like it. But what got me excited was that James Tynion said, as much as this is a Joker book, it is a Jim Gordon book. So a Joker book that's actually about Joker, but also just as equally about Gordon, that's something that I'm excited about. You know, Jean-Claude, that I'm covering Wildcats, and I guarantee you that in 2021 you're going to see an episode of Image in the 90s about Brigade and Bloodstrike. What's up, Icy Cold Milk Station? Good to see you, brother. I didn't get to read Wolverine Black, White, and Red and Blood #2 because we were shorted and we haven't gotten them back. Deathblow maybe, because I want to balance 90s coverage between Image, Marvel, and DC, and maybe even other publishers. Maybe there's an Oni press in the 90s. What? Maybe I want to talk about some Kevin Smith Clerks books. Savage Dragon I've never really done a deep dive into, Joe. I need to. But let me get through Spawn first. Just got the Witchblade Omnibus, hoping to read it soon. I've always tried to get into Witchblade, and I tried with Ron Mars, I tried with Paul Jenkins. Nobody could get me into it, so I'm going back to the original Witchblade. Oh, yeah, Kevin Smith's Clerks work. Clerks, the comic book, and Clerks, the holiday special. Oh, my God. I should have done... See, maybe next year for Christmas we'll do an Image in the 90s for around Christmas time, and we'll do the Clerks holiday special. And I'm going to start trying to focus on smaller runs that I can absorb and do quicker. Because I reread these things, and I usually try to do them twice. So, like... And I cut together the images. Maybe I could just show you the pages, but I like to put a little bit more time into it. Because I really like the in the 90s segment. Beavis and Butthead would be a great one to do. That'd be a great one to do. Cerebros is in here. Cerebros, I think you sent me a message on Twitter. It wound up in a different folder. I briefly saw it in my email. I haven't looked at all of it, but if I can catch the basic gist of it, determining basically my schedule, the short answer is yes. 100%. And I've been meaning to check out the show you did with the Comic Book Blurred and Comic Book Herald about the Krakoa stuff, because I watch all of Comic Book Herald's Krakoa videos. Yeah, I remember the Batman run by Kevin Smith and Walt Flanagan. I wasn't a big fan. Robbie, buying trade paperbacks benefits or buying collected edition omnibuses benefits? So the benefits are this. Trade paperbacks come sooner. You can be more on point by collecting the trades. But omnibuses, in the long run, are cheaper. Because if you took the same amount of content and spread it up over trade paperback collections, the cost would go up. So ultimately, omnibuses are cheaper ways to get a bunch of content, but they're also not as frequent, not as often, and a little bit more cumbersome to read. Oh, I love Comic Book Herald. Yeah, Kraken Krakoa. That's my shit. That's my jam. Maybe we'll get him on the channel. We're going to see if he wants to do something. Maybe we'll get the Cerebros over. We'll get everybody over. We got big plans for 2021. We're talking comics on New Comic Book Day and Rockin Robbie Live with. Lots of creators have already signed up, including the entire White Noise crew. That means Alex Pagnadell's back, Dan Waters is in, Ryan O'Sullivan's in, and Rom V's in. Come on, y'all. Is that not enough? How about John Lees, Rich Duick, David Andre, Darcy Van Polgees, Mike Morisi? Ibrahim Mustafa? Hell yeah. Dennis Camp? More? Let's get more. Who are some women creators that you'd like to see on the show? We've had Leon on the show. I've been thinking, what women creators would you like to see on the show? And I want to bring everybody else back that's been on. David, Joe, Liana, Justin, Chris. Can I do the Marvel Presents Weapon X? Is that 90s or is it 80s? I always thought it was 80s. Maybe it is 90s. I was thinking about doing issue 100 one time, though. Because every once in a while, I wanted to just do a spotlight of like a one-issue, one-shot or something like that. Like Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Triumph, and Torment. Jenny Frizen, Jen Hickman, Eve Ewing, Becky Cloonan. Y'all are reaching up there. I'd love to interview any of them. Jen Hickman is non-binary, though. We do got to recognize that. Same with Vita Ayala. That's another person I would really like to have them on the channel. I've met them before. They're super, super cool. Yeah. Weapon X is 88, but we did do the Marvel in the 90s on the Wolverine story, the Shiva scenario or whatever. That was like the sequel to Weapon X. We did that a little bit. Yeah, the Peach Momoko, sure. Like, y'all notice, I think I get some really nice names. Like, I really, really like the people that come on. They're some of my favorite creators. But we don't get the big ones. Donnie Cates doesn't seem like it's happening. Scott Snyder, even though I have his email address, it's just not seeming like it's coming together. Kelly Thompson would be great. I don't know if she does these things. I was thinking Stephanie Phillips would be cool. She obviously has got a Harley Quinn book to pump. But Kelly, I don't think, does a lot of these. I'd like to get Kelly. Kelly would be great. Mags would be great. Tamara would be great. Having Liana back on would be great, of course. Fiona Staples would be amazing. Holy cow. Daniel Warren Johnson would be cool. You know, one thing that would help us get some of the bigger names, and I'm not telling people to spam people at all. That's not what I want. But maybe every once in a while, if you're on social media and you follow some of these people, especially like on Twitter, just make mention of our channel and be like, hey, yo, look at this great conversation Robbie just had with Ron V. Donnie Cates. Maybe you would want to be on his show. Krista Faust wrote Bad Mother. She also has a new book coming out. I might check into that. I'd like to get Christy Marks. You know, like, I'd lose my fucking mind. I'd probably not be able to compose myself in that interview. Christy Marks was a writer on Jim and the Holograms, by the way, and she did my favorite Amethyst series ever, which is the one that was in the New 52 Sword and Sorcery. Daniel Warren Johnson would be fucking amazing. I'd love to get him on the show. I want to get Donnie. That'd be my penultimate. Now, I know that like Jim's done an interview with Donnie, and so has Bueller. That was back when he wasn't quite as big. Yo, if I had Kelly on the show, all I would do is just gush over Jim and the Holograms and Kate Bishop. And Jeff. Kelly Thompson would be great. I would love to. She's one of my favorites right now, to be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of her Captain Marvel work, but her Black Widow work's really good. I'd love to interview Bendis Joe. I really, really would. When I was in high school, Bendis was my favorite comic book writer. And we're talking about the era of Goldfish and Jinx leading into Powers and Ultimate Spider-Man about to happen. Ultimate Spider-Man happened after I graduated, but Bueller has been big for a while. I've been in the game longer than Bueller, though. But he's bigger than me. And so's Jim. I've been in the game longer than both of them. But they've surpassed me. But it's well-deserved. It's well-deserved, to be honest with you. I'd love to have Tiny in on the show. I'd love to have almost any comic book creator almost on the show. Almost everybody. Certain people may have shit baggage attached to them that I wouldn't want to deal with. But it's just a handful, to be honest with you. Hey, Robbie, awesome show. As always, who is your favorite cover artist? Francisco Francavilla is my favorite cover artist. Outside of that, Mike Mignola. Outside of that, Alex Ross. Can you not have Alex Ross listed? Oh, Ross Ritchie's the Boom guy. Yeah, you keep mentioning him. I'd have Anna Cinti on the book, but I'd feel really bad because I'd have to do a lot of homework because I don't really like a lot of her work that I've read. Joe says Rob Liefeld. I'd love to have Rob Liefeld on the show. I'd love to have Todd McFarlane on the show. I don't know how to approach a Todd McFarlane interview. Do I just come at him like as a fan like I am now, or do I explain that I wasn't a fan for a long time? I think that would be a shitty thing to do. Like, it'd be like, I used to think you were a duty head, but now I think you're pretty fucking awesome. The comic prices are going up. They're always going up, William. That's never going to stop. Comic prices are always going to go up. Just like the price of everything. But DC prices are going up. And comic prices in general, they're going up. You're seeing more $4.99s, $5.99s, $7.99s, $9.99s. Christopher Priest. Priest would be a great person. I'd love to talk with him. He turned me into a Black Panther fan. He's the reason I'm so hardcore into T'Challa. His Marvel Knights Black Panther run, and then it actually eventually, I guess you could say, graduated from Marvel Knights into Marvel proper. His Black Panther run's fucking amazing. It is the best Black Panther run. It is one of the best comic books of the 90s. It led into the early aughties as well. Excited for Seeds, her story with David Aha. Yeah, the trade comes out this week, but the first 2 issues came out. I don't think they ever did any more, and they're just putting it out in trade. Hey, Robbie, what would you say to the new generation to influence them to read a comic book? Well, to anybody who hasn't read a comic book, I would say this. You like TV? It's good, isn't it? Yeah. Movies are okay. You notice how all these movies, they're always just based on some other thing, like a comic book or a book, or they're a sequel, or it's trying to build a franchise or whatever. Do you know where you get truly original content as far as story goes? Original content? Comic books. I'm not talking about Marvel or DC at all. I'm talking about Image, Vault, Boom, Aftershock, AWA, Mad Cave, Source Point, Scout. Talking about those companies. That's original content. It's original stories. Most of us, in our need for story, are found lacking because most of what is given to the populace and what is popular amongst the populace is derivative BS, to be honest with you. Where do you get true original ideas and concepts? High concept stuff, sci-fi, fantasy, horror. Where do you get that? You get that from Image Comics. You get that from Vault Comics. You get that from Boom Studios. You get that from Aftershock. That's what I would say. All right, we were going to do a top 5, but we're going to say both top 5s for segment 3, as we also like to call Block A, C. Third Block A, C. So we'll be right back. Y'all go grab a cup of cheer. When we come back, we'll do some top 5s. Let me just go ahead and let you know. When we come back, show and tell, obviously. But we're going to be revealing, so think about it, your top 5 Christmas movies and your top 5 Christmas songs when we come back here on Rockin' Robbie Live. Welcome back, PCP Army. How are you doing? Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live. Right now, we're about to get into the third part of the show. But I do want to say you can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook, on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, make it official. Join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Twitter, I am there at the Rockin Robbie. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine patrons right there, or with Super Chat tonight. We've already funded 2 months of Dylan's what's it's called? StreamYard, right? We already funded 2 months of StreamYard for Dylan for 2021, so that's super exciting. So that's very, very cool. Thank you so much, PCP Army. And of course, you can check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcast blogs and a whole lot more. And a whole lot more in 2021. So when we last left, we asked you what was your favorite Christmas movies, your top 5 favorite Christmas movies, or just your favorite, whatever you want to say. Now, my list is kind of solid, but it moves about here and there. It's got some shifting, changing type things. It does. So, this is my current list, and I see y'all chiming in right now. So here are my top 5 favorite Christmas movies as of now, because it changes, but here we go. At number 5, I've got Scrooged, starring Bill Murray. It's a Richard Donner film. This is a fantastic movie, a modern, at the time, interpretation of A Christmas Carol. It is hilarious. It's got Bill Murray. It's got to be funny. So it's super, super funny, but it also is very heartwarming, and it touches 100% everything that is set up from A Christmas Carol. At number 4, we have Die Hard. Such a great, brilliant film. It is truly a Christmas film, and if you don't believe me, just check out what Mark said on the Geeks Unleashed podcast. The Christmas special just released. We were talking about that earlier. Die Hard is a great film. It's about a dude coming home for Christmas. He goes to a Christmas party, and craziness ensues. At number 3, I've got Batman Returns. I don't want to hear any argument. This is a Christmas movie, and it's about Christmas. It's about Bruce Wayne being alone at Christmas, trying to make a connection. It's about trying to make a connection through family. This really hits a lot of the melancholical tones. Is that even a word? The melancholy-esque tones of the Batman franchise, of the Batman universe. The way it can be represented through the lens of Christmas is totally and accurately represented in Batman Returns. And I think the best Tim Burton Batman film, the best Michael Keaton performance as Batman, the best Catwoman we've got on screen, and by far the best interpretation of Penguin we've ever gotten. At number 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This movie is great. How do you really impress Robbie with a Christmas film? You throw a little bit of Halloween into it. Nightmare Before Christmas is great because it is one of those great films that you can watch on Halloween, during Thanksgiving, and at Christmas. You can watch it year-round. It's such a great take on the holiday from an outsider's perspective. I've always been more of a Halloween fan than Christmas, so I love this Halloween approach to Christmas. And at number 1, it's no surprise, it's Gremlins. Dun 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 dun. I love this film. Why do I love it? I've talked about it so much. I was on that Geeks Unleashed podcast. We did our movie review on Friday night. This is just one of the greatest Christmas movies ever made. One of the greatest movies ever made. I love it so much. And that is my top 5 Christmas movies. What are yours? So let's take a look here. Let's see here. Bobby says, The Little Drummer Boy. I love The Little Drummer Boy. The little, like puppet movie, the claymation or whatever. It was like, I love that song, and I love that movie. That's a great little special. He also says, It's a Wonderful Life. That's a great classic film. Fable says, Gremlins, A Christmas Story, Home Alone, Die Hard, Batman Returns. Honorable mention, It's a Wonderful Life. Great list, Fable. Bobby says, what about Joker's Christmas from Batman the Animated Series? What about it? Hell yeah, it's one of the best. What about the Paul Dini written issue of Detective Comics, where it's the Joker at Christmas with Robin? Oh my goodness. And he's like, he captures Robin, Tim Drake Robin, and puts him in the Batmobile. He like, does he take the Batmobile, or is he in something other vehicle? But he's like running around with Robin, like tied up on Christmas. It's great. Fable says, and Scrooge with Bill Murray. Hell yeah. Stefan says, Batman Returns, The Grinch, Home Alone 2, and Charlie Brown Christmas. Jay Strick will give you a mad station for that because he prefers Home Alone 2 over the first one. Now, when I initially did this list on our Christmas Movies podcast, which we do have a Christmas movie podcast, I will be reposting that this week in the PCP Army, but it's here on YouTube. And my top 5 is basically the same, except I moved Home Alone out and put in Die Hard. But it's really hard not to put Lethal Weapon in there as well. Yeah, the Charlie Brown stuff. Stefan says, A Christmas Story. Herminio says, would you interview Heather Antos? She does good interviews. Herminio, who is she? What does she do? I'm not familiar with the name. James says, Christmas Vacation is Chevy Chase classic. Yes, it is. Ricky says, definitely The Grinch and Mickey's Christmas Carol. William says, my top 5 Christmas movies are Die Hard, Home Alone 2, Black Christmas, A Pocket Full of Miracles, and The Bishop's Wife. Ricky says, Rocky 4. Is Rocky 4 a Christmas movie? Stefan says, Scrooged, brilliant. It's a good movie. Cerebro's never seen Night Before Christmas. No, watch it this week. It's such a great film. Do you like Halloween? If you like Halloween more than you like Christmas, you're going to love that film. Fable says, we almost have the same list. Yeah, I almost got to put Black Christmas on there now. I don't want to get too non-traditional, but like certain things can pop in and out. It's more so with the Christmas songs, but the top 3 always stay the same. That's coming up next. Top 5 Christmas movies. Get them in right now before we move along. Stefan's like, Nightmare Before Christmas is one of those rare movies where it's Halloween and a Christmas movie. And exactly, it's a Halloween lens on Christmas, and I love it. It is more of a Christmas film than it is a Halloween film. But it's a great movie to watch at the absolute tail end of Halloween because it's about letting go of Halloween and being like, all right, Christmas is coming. And sometimes you can't let it go, just like this year. You know, we did Horror Fest, one of the grandest Horror Fests we've ever done here on the channel. So PCP Army, congratulations, station, for a great Horror Fest this year. But we didn't want it to end. So we did Christmas Horror Fest, basically, you know, between us and Dylan. We did 5 movies, actually. We did 5 Christmas horror films. Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2, Krampus, Gremlins, and Black Christmas, which is becoming one of my absolute favorites, to be honest with you. Next year, we're going into more traditional Christmas fare, and we're also doing a Christmas in July, a special 3-week series for Action Fest. 2-week series, 2 weeks. We're doing 2 weeks of Christmas in July. We're doing Die Hard and Lethal Weapon. That's what we're doing. Herminio says Gremlins, Die Hard, Nightmare Before Christmas, Batman Returns, Home Alone. An honorable mention is Miracle on 34th Street. Jeff says, underrated for me is Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds and Anna Faris is so funny. Never seen that. James says Bad Santa and Bad Santa 2. I've never seen part 2, but I love part 1. It's such a great film. I've also never seen Elf. Maybe I need to get into the Perry game. Maybe me and Perry should do a collaboration on his channel of me and him together reacting to a movie. Because when I find the rare movie that I haven't seen, you should take advantage of it. What's that old Christmas movie with Martin Short? I don't know. Martin Short? Christmas movie? Are you talking about Santa Claus? He's in one of the Santa Claus movies. I know that. Because he's Jack Frost or whatever. Kris Kringle. I don't know. Something. I don't want to interview anybody right now, Herminio from Valiant, until I get studied up. I've never watched Christmas with the Cranks. I haven't watched a lot of traditional Christmas movies unless they're like from the 80s. Or unless they're horror. Jingle All the Way is a fun movie. I remember that one. Yeah, Jon Favreau did Elf. I'm a big Jon Favreau fan, not just Mandalorian, obviously. We can have some conversations about that. But I'd rather have more in-depth conversations maybe on the best of the year stream. because I know some people still haven't seen it. I really elaborated on some of my thoughts in a very slightly spoilerish way last night on the Dylan show, because just like we do here at PCP, Dylan did a little bit of a back chat. So when we got done talking about Krampus, we were just talking about a lot of things, and we talked about The Mandalorian. And I really thought about, I got some thoughts about the final episode of The Mandalorian. Coffee Girl Espresso Guy says, every year we have to watch, and now I'm waiting and shivering with anticipation. Flaming Carrot says, my favorite Christmas movie this year are definitely Batman Returns, Gremlins, and Die Hard Station. Hell yeah, 3 out of my top 5. Here we go. Coffee Girl Espresso Guy says, Elf, Home Alone, 1 and 2, and Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation is one that's always on. Not doing any family stuff this year, but usually that's always on at some kind of family gathering. A Christmas Story obviously is always being played, but I have a weird relationship with that movie. I'm not drunk enough to get into that, but I haven't seen Elf, but I love the Home Alone movies. They're really, really good. Y'all need to start putting Gremlins and Black Christmas into that. Hell yeah. That was a great discussion on our favorite Christmas movies. Tomorrow Cinema comes in with the Muppets Christmas Carols, and Four Christmases is funny too. I hear that, but I haven't watched that. What's the tradition? Okay, y'all. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I like the first one, not so much the second one. We talked about that on Dylan's Comics last Saturday night. It was so much fun. Revisiting. It was so much fun. Is Willy Wonka considered Xmas? No, it's a movie that a lot of people watch during Christmas, just like Star Wars or Harry Potter, but it's not inherently Christmas, you know. So there. But here's I got a week with no movies. I don't have to watch a certain movie for a while now, so that's really awesome. What's a more traditional Christmas movie that I should watch? Something like a Four Christmases or a Christmas with the Crank or Elf. Is it Elf? Is Elf what I should watch? Let me know right now. Starting now, I'll start counting the votes. What's the one that I should watch? The one that I've missed. And y'all have heard me talk about. Yeah, I heard about the Creep Show special. Thought that was neat. There's a lot of elves and one Christmas Evil. I do want to check out Christmas Evil, though. Mike's like Miracle on 34th Street. Which one? Like, I've watched like 2 or 3 versions of that. I've watched that. I know Miracle on 34th Street. But I've never seen Elf. Maybe I should watch Elf for the first time, eating the Elf cereal for the first time. And maybe I should record my reaction to both. Bear Island Comics says Elf is massively overrated. The new illustrations Grinch is cute. I really like the old school Grinch, and I love my old school ones too, like Rudolph, Drummer Boy, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those are always essentials. Frosty. It's animated in a different way, but still, same. Same. All right, we're about to get into a new top 5 discussion. Fred Claus is one of the few movies, Travis, I've walked out of. But that was for different circumstances. If you're around for the post-credits, ask me then, and I'll let you know why I walked out of Fred Claus. But it's not for everybody's ears. I have to take a quick break because I got a weird stretch here that I was going to do that I forgot to get prepared. So I'll be right back. So Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Where's the button? Merry Christmas. All right, we're back. I got everything ready now. Got this weird-ass stretch here. The tacky started in the first segment. So it looks like Elf. Elf I'm watching this week. I'll see if I can watch it before the Festivus stream on Wednesday night. Don't forget Festivus on Wednesday night. And if I watch Elf by then, I will report on it. So that's cool. But I got to watch Tenet this week. Because I feel like I cannot... For the New Year's stream, we're going to talk about our favorite movies of the year. And there's not a lot. But I have to have watched New Mutants, Wonder Woman, and Tenet by that point. But I really think that we're going to focus less on new movie reviews here and more on like just what we as a collective want to talk about. So be prepared for that. So the next top 5 is this. Go ahead and start shouting them out. What are your top 5 favorite Christmas songs? And I'm going to go ahead and just warn you that this list for me changes pretty much every year, but the top 3 stay the same. So right now in 2020, as of right now, because this list fluctuates, these are my top 5 favorite Christmas songs. I hit the wrong button first, so you already know that number 5 is Mary Did You Know by Kenny Rogers and Winona Judd. Like, it's one of the more religious songs, and maybe there are certain songs that hit me a certain way, like Oh Holy Night. Almost anybody that does that. So honorable mention to that. That song can get me on a spiritual level. This song does too, but in particular, it's the Kenny Rogers and Winona Judd version. Why? I grew up in Alabama. My family, they love country music. I have heard this version so many times, and I love that electric piano. Oh my goodness. When they come together and at the end and they go, the great I am. Oh my goodness, it gives me chills. So at number 5, Mary Did You Know by Kenny Rogers and Winona Judd. Shout out from my Alabama family. At number 4, we got Step Into Christmas by Elton John. Why is this on the top 5? It's on the top 5 because most people I talk to fucking hate this song, and I don't understand that. I love this song. This song to me represents the joy, the jolly, the holly jolly, if you will, of Christmas. I love this damn song. It's so silly. It's so ridiculous. Like most Christmas songs should be. Step into Christmas, step into Christmas. I absolutely love it. At number 3, Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives. I love the song. Of course, he was the snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He sang the song in that, but have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. I absolutely love this song. I love the story behind it. I love the feeling it brings about me. And yes, I like to sit and chill at Christmas time, have a cup of cheer, and listen to Holly Jolly Christmas. At number 2, Last Christmas by Wham. Come on, y'all. You know I'm a George Michael fan. Wham was awesome. Last Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas songs. I have to hear it all the time. That's when that challenge came out earlier this year where they were like, see if you can go through the entire holiday season not listening to Wham's Last Christmas. I was like, I'm out automatically because it's usually always the first one I listen to. I love it. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away. Oh, I love it. At number 1, it's Bare Naked Ladies with Sarah McLachlan. It's God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen and We Three Kings. Growing up, We Three Kings was always my favorite Christmas song. And I love God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. But then when you have Bare Naked Ladies and Sarah McLachlan doing basically a hauntingly sufficient version of the two of them melded together, I love it. Doom, Da-doom, doom, doom, da-doom. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you distray. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were led astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. And then, oh, star of wonder, star of light. Yeah, I'm not going to sing the whole time, but that was my top 5 favorite Christmas songs right now. What are yours? So there you go. That was your caroling. That was your PCP caroling. That's as close as you're going to get. But you might get a little bit more when I see what your favorite Christmas songs are. Because some of them might hit me the certain way. Don, I don't know. Is there a He-Man She-Ra Xmas special? If so, I've never seen it. I like Vince Vaughn except for Psycho. I like Vince Vaughn in Psycho. I think Vince Vaughn, for what he is and what he does as an actor, that was a really brilliant performance as his interpretation of Norman Bates. It was a misguided attempt at a movie. But trust me, that's actually going to be a subject. We're going to be talking about all the Psycho films within the first 10 episodes of Dylan's Horror Show. All right. Let's see here. Stefan says, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, NSYNC. Happy Holidays. Hell yeah. I like that. Charlie Brown Christmas by Vince Guaraldi. Absolutely legendary. You're right, Bear Island. I was playing that soundtrack at work the other day, and Jay Strick comes up to me. He's like, dude, we need to play some happy Christmas music. This is too sad. I was like, dude, this is Charlie Brown Christmas. This is the Christmas music. By the way, the Gremlins soundtrack, the score, like the whole thing with all the Christmas stuff, it works so well. Christmas in Sarajevo, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Nice. Christmas in Hollis. Yo, that was used in Die Hard. I almost put that in my top 5. Run DMC. Bobby says, Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. There is an old punk band called UXA. They have a Christmas 7-inch. I like that. And the Chipmunk song. The Chipmunk song. I haven't listened to that yet this year. I might have to do that when we're done. Bobby says, Baby, It's Cold Outside. Is that a Christmas song? It is, but why? That's one of those ones where you're like, why is that a Christmas song? That's weird. It's just because it's not about Christmas. You know? I don't know. Yeah, have a holly jolly Christmas from Rudolph. Hell yeah, Travis. Fable says, Last Christmas, 12 Days of Christmas, Carol of the Bells. Dun, 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 dun. Just use that on the Gremlins video. Holly Jolly Christmas, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. I almost put that in. Almost put Jingle Bell Rock, the Hall & Oates version, but the old school version's good too. Love all those. Frosty the Snowman, of course. Hell yeah. Another Paul McCartney shout out. Another Sarajevo shout out. Bobby Helms, yeah, that's it. Jingle Bell Rock. Oh, the Pogue song, Fairy Tale of New York. That is a classic. I've been listening to that at the Deep over the last few days, Dawn, so maybe I'll try to remember to play it when you show up this week. Easy Reader says, This Christmas by Donny Hathaway. Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano. Dominic the Donkey. Oh my God, that song by Luma. I hate that fucking song. That's great though. The Christmas song by Nat King Cole. Hell yeah. And All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. Good tidings, y'all. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. That's one I don't like. I don't really like Santa Baby either. My only wish this year, is Britney Spears. All I Want for Christmas. Last Christmas, Baby It's Cold Outside. Jingle Bell Rock. Herminio. Great ones. Oh, it's the Dominic the Donkey. I hate that fucking song. Oh, Flaming Carrot, man. I almost put that on my top 5 too. Happy Xmas, War is Over, the John Lennon song. Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one. Oh my God. Man. Mike says, the dead Santa beamed us up. You don't know about Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto. Here's one I'd like to point out. Murder City Devils. did a song called 364 Days. I don't know if it's necessarily a Christmas song, but it's a day for every other year. It's a song for every other day of the year. But it's called 364 Days by the Murder City Devils. You should find it on YouTube and listen to it if you haven't listened to it. It's from the Thalemia album. But the hook is like, St. Nicholas, at the North Pole, 364 days, spent all alone. Hang up your boots, pour a drink, try not to cry, try not to think. It's a really sad, depressing song about Santa Claus being alone for 364 days of the year, having nothing to do. Sandy Claus Nightmare Before Christmas. Kidnap the Sandy Claus, tap him in a box, lock him up for 100 years, decently if he talks, something like that. Ed says Blue Christmas. Oh my goodness, I love the I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I love it. It's good stuff. Ooh. Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys. Little Saint Nick, little Saint Nick. Not sure what the name of it actually is. Yeah, I think it's Kidnap the Sandy Claus is what it is. Kidnap the Sandy Claus, trap him in a box, lock him up 100 years, then see if he talks. Ugh, that's good stuff. What a great discussion, everybody. Station for the PCP Army. Hell yeah. Ramones, Merry Christmas. Hell yeah, Flame and Carrot. I always see your comments. I don't know if you are, but if you're on Facebook, you should be in a group called the Morrison Acolytes. And maybe you already are. I don't know. But you're right there. Yeah, the whole Elvis Christmas album's great. So's the Frank Sinatra one. So's the Michael Bublé. The first one, there's a bunch, I think. You know, and this year, you know what I've really been getting into? The Kelly Clarkson Christmas album. That was on J Street. J Street hooked me up with that. Don says, these are good tips. I need to make a compilation to play after hearing my girlfriend playing Ariana Grande's Christmas album. Well, here's the thing. Is like, there needs to be better playlists. Like, YouTube's got shit playlists, to be honest with you, I think. I need to make my own playlist. And like, Spotify's got shit playlists, too. I need a definitive Robbie playlist for Christmas songs. And I only got a week left. Jingle bells, Batman smells, a robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost its wheel and the Joker got away. It's been a while since I've done that. Hey! I just love that dumbass shit. All right, y'all, it's time for show and tell. So here's a weird stretch. Tacky mentioned this earlier. I don't think he's still here, but Tacky had mentioned earlier for his pick of the week was the Canterbury Tales. Well, here's my copy of the Canterbury Tales. Penguin Classics. I love collecting these. This is well read. This is the copy I had in high school. We had to cover it in a report. I read the shit out of this because I actually really liked it. This is when I started getting into like satirical work. So there you go. Canterbury Tales by Chaucer. I got some other books here. These are some really cool ones. So this is a book. It's Star Trek Tops. So this is the trading card series from the 60s. So what it is that each page gives you the trading card, the front and the back, and a little bit of information about the cards and the card set. How cool is that? So it's the entire original set in a book. Super cool, right? But what's even cooler is the Mars Attacks one. Oh my goodness. This is one of my favorite things that I own. Because I don't have an original Mars Attacks card set, and there's no way I probably will ever get one. I would love them, but this is the closest I'm going to get. And I love the shit out of that. So those are two cool books. I wish they would have done more of these. Those are only two I'm aware of. We talk about comic books on the channel, so let's talk about some comic books. One of the first things I'm going to cover next year for Marvel and DC in the 90s is this book right here. Spider-Man and Batman. That's right. J.M. DeMatteis, Mark Bagley, Scott Hanna. Y'all, this is a great book. Joker and Carnage are in it. If you've never read that, get ready because it's going to be coming in January. This is one of my favorite Joker covers. It's by Brian Boland. It's Legends of the Dark Knight, number 50. I just love that cover so much. I rarely have comic books just for the cover. but that's one I have to have. Speaking of comics, I got the OZ Kickstarter in. There's the print. This was the David Pepose Kickstarter about like the Hurt Locker meets Wizard of Oz. I'm very excited to check this one out. I haven't read it yet, but I'm very excited to. And I also got that little sticker. Winged Monkey Squadron. Monkey See, Monkey Doom. Fucking dope. Speaking of Kickstarters, my homie Kevin and his friend Stefan, their Kickstarter for Extinction came in. Y'all, this is such great work. We had him on the show as the Kickstarter was winding up. The final artwork in this looks so freaking amazing. There's going to be a book 2 coming. So they'll probably crowdfund that again. I got to show you this artwork. That's my homie Kevin, who was with us on that Teen Dog Shades night. Me and him saw Strange Lights in the Sky one time together. That happened this year. But he's my homie. That's his artwork. Don't you think me and Kevin should do a comic book together? I think so. Love his work. Love this book. Look at that, y'all. That's my homie Kevin. His name is Kevin. Next up, what we got? Something's in this box. You know, Pops are on their way out. But I love all the Dark Knight's metal, all the alternate Batmans, and we finally got now, what? The Grim Knight Batman. Hell yeah, this is like the Punisher Batman. We're going to open it up. Because we've got the others. Might as well. Let's see how this pop looks. Looks great. I really wish he had more weapons behind him, to be honest with you. But he looks dope. Look at that. Grim Knight Batman. He could use more weapons behind him. I'll be honest with you. But still pretty dope. Pretty dope. We'll set him there. What else? Well, I got a couple little pops here that I showed off Friday night, but I'll show them off again. I got my LeBron James Lakers pop. Hell yeah. Season starts Tuesday. Lakers versus Clippers. Who you got? I got the Lakers. But more important than the LeBron, Mike the Voice Matthews hooked a brother up, and I got Magic Johnson. Look at that. Beautiful. 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 And we're going to wrap it up with this. So, Bobby's here. Bobby De La Ghetto sent us an A-OK. So Bobby does repurposed art, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Check him out on Instagram. Bobby, feel free to show us your Instagram tag. So the first thing I want to do is share this letter that Bobby sent to the PCP Army. He says, "What up, Robbie and the PCP Army? I enjoy your show. It's informative and entertaining. And from one Fantastic Four fan to another, I'll give you this small token of appreciation from your friend of the show, Bobby De La Ghetto." And then first of all, this is on some really nice Marvel stationery. And then he gave a really nice drawing of Ben Grimm the Thing doing the station saying, "Go Chiefs." So I do want to share that. That's really dope. And I love that stationery. But speaking of stationery, look at the thing going, "Station." But he says, "Go Chiefs." That's great. Bobby De La Ghetto won. That was great. So, what repurposed artwork did we get? Check this out, y'all. This blew me away. It's a Venus de la Milo painted to be Susan Richards of the Fantastic Four, which I think is brilliant because, she has no arms because she's invisible. Like, I love it. So thank you so much, Bobby. We really do appreciate this. The next thing I would really like would be a Virgin Mary repainted like Dr. Doom, holding a baby Silver Surfer, which is similar to something else you've done. That's a personal request. You don't ever feel like you have to get to it. But I thought that was super cool. So thank you so much. It's going to be a cherished part of PCP. Thank you so much, Bobby. Station for Bobby, everybody. Let's give him a nice, hearty, real station. All right. Let's see. Tony, Robbie, I contacted you at the store, but you were off. Your coworker said he would get a hold of you, but guess not. I can't. That's too funny to me, but yeah, probably not. Let's see. Guess not. See if you need anything from L's Comic Pro line, just look me up or PM me. Comic Pro line. Oh yeah, with Bueller. That's Tony. Yeah, Tony. My email is contact420@gmail.com. You can message me there, homie. That's my direct line. Not every message gets through at the Deep. We have a lot of lines of communication, a lot of employees, so I'm sorry about that, brother. But you can always message me directly at contact420@gmail.com. Bueller should have given you that address. Or Bob, whoever hooked you up. But Tony, I really want to check out your product. We're disappointed lately with I personally, I can't speak for the company. I personally am disappointed in Ultra Pro right now because they're very inconsistent with the size of their bags and boards, and sometimes they're too tight. If Don's still here, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, wasn't that shit from Bobby super cool? Oh my God. And I love this note. And there was like a picture of Batman that I guess he had drew that it was like ripped in half as part of the packing material. I kept that too. But I love that. You know, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I hope y'all win the Super Bowl again because the Cowboys ain't going to do it. I fucking love that thing. I used to love drawing the thing. You got it. You got it nailed. Hell yeah. I'm impressed. Look at Don. He's like, yes, I do. Ultra Pro sucks right now. They're not consistent. Mike's like, well, you never answer your phone. You're right. Mike, did you contact me about that? No, I don't see anything, Mike. So there you go, man. Got some kind of message about David Hatch weirdly specking on some kind of incentive. What was it? Gwynnum versus Carnage. Jesus. What a weird stretch, David. I don't think David's here right now. Well, why are you specking on Gwynnum? Oh, I hear great things about the bags and boards. I hope that's the Bueller keeps promising a $50 prize for Thunderdome, and I'm pretty sure it was $50 of Comics Pro line shit. But yeah, message me on that email and I'll hook you up, brother. We'll get in touch. We'll do something. Yeah, the Jets did lose by winning. So did the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been losing by winning too because, like, let's be honest, the Cowboys are still technically in it, but we're not. Like, because Washington wins one game, it's over. They lost today. The Cowboys won. They're going to keep our hopes alive to that goddamn last week. You just wait and see. But what hopes? No team from the NFC East is going to go any further than round one of the playoffs. Let's be honest, right? Wouldn't that be wild, though? What if, like, the Eagles make it? It's not going to happen. It's going to be the Giants or the Washington team. Ugh. What's the top 20 books of the year? You'll find that out Monday morning. Not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Monday, December, what is that, 28th? That's when we're doing that one. Jags got first pick right now. I don't think they're going to win a game. The Cowboys dropped, though. Like, what the fuck, y'all? Just lose. Just lose. But I got a couple more fun show and tell things for a possible after credit sequence that we do occasionally. Anyway, we are dipping out here at Rockin Robbie Live. Thank you so much. But before we dip out, we got to do the final 9. We did the first 6 from my Blu-ray collection. We were in the H's, so let's continue on through. There's Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, a very bare-boned Blu-ray copy of Hellraiser 2. There's an era release that's better, but I don't have it yet. And I know y'all thought I was just joking and weird stretching when I told you I love this franchise, but I'm not kidding. There's my High School Musical 2 Blu-ray, or my High School Musical Blu-ray. There's my High School Musical 2 Blu-ray, Extended Edition. And there's my High School Musical 3 Blu-ray, right there. So, yeah, I'm serious. Just like T.I.'s first album. There's Hulk. It's the Ang Lee one. I haven't revisited that one in a while. There's the Incredible Hulk from the MCU. I love this one because it's the only like green case I have, which is super, super nifty. Speaking of Hulk, we got Planet Hulk right here, the animated film. It's okay. Hulk versus the animated film, which is freaking awesome, actually. And then we're going to wrap it up with The Hurt Locker, which is a movie I absolutely adore by Catherine Bigelow, who did one of my favorite horror films, favorite vampire films, which is Near Dark. We covered it in Horror Fest, but Hurt Locker is one of my favorite war films. I absolutely love that. So, that's the final 9. That was Show and Tell. And what's coming up here at the channel, like I said, we got the Festivus stream coming up Wednesday night, December 23rd at 8 p.m. Central. Join us for another Festivus miracle as we raise the Festivus pole, air our grievances, and display feats of strength. The movie nights return live Friday night, January 8th, with Buckaroo Banzai. And the very next night starts Dylan's Horror Show with co-host Rockin Robbie, that's me, starting January 9th, 2021. And going forward most Saturdays in 2021. Very excited. Thank you so much for a great show. That's Station PCP Army. We're dipping out. Maybe there's an after credit sequence. Nah, there's not. Y'all know how it is. We just do it. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you on behalf of Dylan for supporting him through 2 months since J Strick matched the funding raising goal. Thank you for representing him for 2 months in StreamYard so we don't have to have that fucking duck. Anyway, we are out. Thank you so much, PCP Army. Thanks for rocking with us. Station! Yeah, yeah. Yo, check it out. Yo, PCP, what it means to me at Christmas time, let me tell you what. Looking around, I see these names and I see these words, and it makes me feel like I got all the bling in the world, and I got to bring it in the world. Let me tell you what we gotta do. PCP, Christmas coming for you. Happy Festivus, happy Christmas too. If you celebrate Hanukkah, how about you? Yo, that shit wrapped up, hope you had a good one. Everybody, let's get it on some. Get smoke some, drink some, what you gotta do, get a cup of cheer, celebrate the new year. Halloween time, that was dope, but Christmas time gives us hope. PCP, what you mean to me, you just make me feel good in serenity. Living life in liberty, let me tell you what, everybody knows what's coming up. Happy Christmas time. Christmas time at PCP means so much to you and me. Like a little Debbie nutty buddy. I never think, I only blink. Sometimes I drink, but I get dear sink. Let me tell you what we do when we come around this time of year. You know how we roll. We rollin' with the stroller. Let me tell you how we do it, like a baby roller coaster. Let me tell you, oh, don't you know? Hitting the coast, gravity slow, so we mostly ghost. Letting loose, and you know, like the goose, like a platinum goose. Like a platinum goose. What's up, everybody? Hey, it's After Hours. So I got this as a gift from J-Strick. This is the newest Hasbro version of the Power Ranger Megazord from Mighty Morphin. Now, this is the one Jelani brought over, and I thought it looked fine. Now, individually, and I was talking a lot of shit about this because I said it was too Fisher Price. Now, it is. But when you build it together, I actually think it's got a good look. It's not as posable as you would want it to be, but it's more posable than a typical one is because you can move the elbows and shit, the arms, but you can't move the legs too much. You can't bend them that way. You can bend them this way, which is too weird. It doesn't morph like the Bandai version, which sucks. It makes it awkward and clunky. It doesn't feel solid. It feels loose, but it makes a pretty solid Megazord looking, and at least it morphs. So thank you, J-Strick, for the gift. We appreciate that. What else we got here? Y'all want to open this up? Let's open up Red Zeo. I've been looking forward to it. About time someone gave some love in the track to that OG McNutty Buddy. You never know what's going to happen, man. Did you get your box yet, brother? I know Herminio and Twitch got theirs. I just want to make sure you got yours. Yeah, let's do it. Zeo, man. That means we get Tommy with the long hair. I'm so excited. Long hair, don't care. I'm Tommy Oliver. Don't you dare mess with me or step to me. It'll be your biggest fallacy to step to me or fuck with me. I'm exactly who I wanna be. I'm Tommy. I smoke weed. Don't you know I succeed? I preach peace, not greed. I walk around smoking trees. I've been listening to a lot of those Cottonmouth Kings lately, can you tell? Let's open this motherfucker up. I got more Power Ranger toys to buy. I've been behind on cash, but we're making a dash to get the Power Rangers flash for our stash. Let's get his Zeo shit out. Let's get his head out because we want it. You know we want that luscious Tommy Oliver locks. All right, let's take a look at the figure. I love Zeo Zords and I love the costume designs. I love the helmet designs on Zeo. So that's why I give them some mad props. But this was when I was dipping out of Power Rangers, man, for real. But I love these designs. I love the Sentai. What is that? It's not Deca Ranger. It's oh my goodness, can't remember what Zeo was called. Good sculpt though. These Hasbro Lightning collections have been really dope and really good. See what it can look like with the sword. Ha! On guard. Let's see what he looks like with the Tommy hair. Nice. Tomorrow's like, yep, got it in. Open it up on the stream tomorrow. I think Herminio said he's filming his video tomorrow. That's cool. I hope y'all like him. Sorry it took so long. Oh my goodness, this is perfect. Y'all. I don't know why this excites me so much. But look at this ridiculousness. And he just looks so earnest. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful. What is that? Is that a mist color? Is he supposed to have a white streak? Is this some kind of like lead into... Is that a lead into Draken? What is that? Why does he have a white streak there? Is that a mist paint? If so, I'm going to keep it. Because you could put that head on a Green Ranger and be like, yo, he's becoming Draken. Look at that ridiculousness. I love it. I fucking love it. First episode of Rockin Robbie Live in 2021. We are opening up the Lord Draken figure, by the way. But I'm really happy I got the Tommy. Let's just do this real quick. Just hold his helmet, you know. Oh, so close to him like he's a kitty cat. He's like, hey, hello. I'm Tommy Oliver. I'm the Red Ranger and Zeo. I'm finally red. I think Tommy got weaker when he became red, to be honest with you. He was better as green and he was better as green and white, to be honest with you. Do y'all want me to open this up? I'm thinking about doing it, but maybe we're just dipping out. Thanks for rocking with us. See y'all. They're not vests, Stefan. They're shields. They're shields, young man. And now a reading from the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Continuing from where we left off in the last episode 473. Forth over ocean, then she drove and came, safe through all stormy channel, till at last, under a castle I cannot name, far in Northumberland. You know, Hannah Montana went to Northumberland High. Those are notes you could only hear at PCP's Canterbury Tales reading. The billows cast her vessel on the sands and held it fast from ebb of tide to the returning crest. There by will of Christ she came to rest. This castle had a constable in chief who came to see the wreck, and, as he sought, he searched it through and found in all her grief this woman and the treasure she had brought him. In her foreign language she besought for mercy, begging him to take her life and so deliver her from earthly strife. we're going to do it. Let's open this up. This Mr. T, I got this from Brooks for Christmas. It's the Masters of the WWE Universe, Mr. T, Heroic Pitier of Fools. I have stayed away from this line because if I bought any of them, it would be The Rock, right? And then the Jake the Snake has just got a great gimmick because he's kind of like King Hiss. But I have to get the Mr. T, and Brooks got it for me for Christmas. So let's open it up. So that way he can conquer Grayskull. Dude, they don't come with actual comics, do they? Well, it's a page of a comic, but that's super fucking cool. Dude. Oh my goodness. James, you crack me up. All right, let's do this. Mr. fucking T, Masters of the Universe garb. So he's going to have these fists. I've seen this loose before. Mike had one he showed me. Oh my goodness. So he's got these fists right there. We're going to open those up. You know we're going to open those up. I'm so damned excited. I was going to open this up Wednesday night on the Festivus stream, but we're going to have too long to go. So we're just going to do this tonight. Ha ha! Oh my goodness. So there he is in all of his glory. Look at that, y'all. Oh my God. That looks so fucking good. So he's got these fists. These are awesome. Look at that shit. Rah! I pity the fool. I'm the heroic pity of fools. I'm Mr. T. Y'all still want that Mr. T action figure. I used to have it when I was a kid, but the one from that animated show. Pinhead, we love you. And we're glad you had Grayskull for the night. But the last person on Rockin Robbie Live that has to have ownership is Mr. fucking T. Mr. fucking T. Y'all see these? Strickland got me these a few weeks ago. They're Bill and Ted Most Atypical Movie Cards. So we are going to open this up, and we're going to open up a pack of this. And then we are truly dipping out. Now, I'm thinking real hard. Do I need to... First of all, I am keeping this box as a part of the set, right? So I should keep a couple of unopened packs and then fill it and just have it like this as part of the set, right? That's dope as shit. But I also want an entire set of this. But I also want to start making these be a part because we have owned Station. These are going to be the part of the January mystery boxes. Those will go on sale at the beginning of the year. So every mystery box in January is going to get at least one pack of Bill and Ted's Most Atypical Movie Cards. And we're going to open these up to see what we can get. Herminio says, I pity the fool that waits till Wednesday night. Yeah, it sucks that Tiny Lister passed. I really want to do a tribute and do a No Holds Barred movie review. Jelani has a problem, though, doing Hulk Hogan movies, and I understand that. So, all right, so we got Ted's dad. Look at that, being possessed by Ted. That's dope. We got the Wild Stallions right there. Look at that. That's dope. What else we got? From part 1. So it's got movie cards from both movies. Because that's from part 1. Oh. It's Rufus. Station. Oh my God. Is there a Station card in here? You know there is. What? Yeah. That's when the stations were morphing together and they were just one blob before they grew up. You see that? It's not wanting to focus. Whatever. You get the point. There they are with their ladies. Again. But this is from Excellent Adventure. Yeah, there's cards from both. And that's cool because they have the logo from each too. You think we got to learn to play our instruments? There they are with Napoleon. Dude, what a badass card set. I got to buy like 80 boxes of this shit so that I get a complete set and we can keep giving these out to every PCP mystery box. Because we do have the Pop Culture Expo coming up in May or in April. Beethoven. Dope. Oh, shit. Here we go. Have your own adventure. Did I win the trip to San Dimas, California? It's a scratch off. It's a scratch off. Wouldn't it really suck to get the winning ticket and it's like way long past due? I don't have a damn coin. Oh no. What do I take it off with? Shaking the camera, isn't it? Ah! I can't read it. Yeah, I picked the wrong thing to try to scratch it off with. I can't read it. I don't know what's going on. Did we win? I just want to know what I won. Anyway, that was that. So, we're buying more boxes of this card set. Because every PCP box in 2021 is going to come with a pack of these. And I'm collecting a full set. And J-Strick's still missing a few, so he needs some packs too. So anyway, that was the show for tonight. That was the final Rockin' Robbie Live of 2020. Thank you so much for your support in this year. We really do appreciate it. We got lots of plans for 2021, and we're not done. We got the Festivus stream on Wednesday, and then New Year's Eve, there's going to be a stream as well. So join us then. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Station, thanks for rocking with us.